Oh, whoops. Okay, wait. Why does this never do this? Okay. Um, is this the best place to do this? Okay, my web thing is working here, but I definitely don't want that. So I need a scene. I'm such a mess. Melee, here we are. Okay. Hello for anyone who is live. I was actually doing this on Twitch initially, and then I realized like I'll just have more feedback if I do this through here. Should also probably have the chat in here. So what would be the best way to do that? I guess just a window capture. So sorry guys, bear with me while I excuse me. This is the kind of stuff I should not be showing, right? Oh my god. Okay, let me just crop it. If I do left like 500 or something, how's that look? No, I need to do way more. Okay, just bear with me, guys. Sorry, I haven't done a lot of this stuff on the like I have two separate OBS just because I intentionally don't want to have my YouTube OBS be the same as my Twitch OBS. What the hell? Is that too far? Maybe I do like left 1000. Okay, 1200, 1400. Okay, this is probably good enough. What the fuck? Why is this like this? I don't, this is like this massive thing. Why is it so big? You know, I've been streaming for like 7 or 8 years and I'm still like struggling to do fucking basic shit. This is so weird. When I do it, it looks normal, but then in the actual thing, it's just a mess. Like this is just so big for no reason. And the thing that I'm seeing in the window is not what I'm seeing here. Okay, fuck it. We're just not gonna have the chat. Can everyone hear me all right? Is everything fine? We all good on that front? Can someone in the chat let me know? Because I wanted to do basically like what I wanted to do was to talk about shield pressure, and through this, a little quiet on the mic. Okay, let me turn that up a little bit then. So what's up, Taylor? Let me just go to OBS. Is this better? It shouldn't be that much louder, but Okay. And like, I really do want to have the chat, but chat. One sec. If I do pop out chat, maybe that'll be a better way to do it. That way I don't have to worry about anything else on screen. Okay. Sorry. No. No. I have no idea why it's not showing me this. Okay, I'm just giving up on the chat thing. I literally have like the thing right here. I don't know why it like hates this. Okay, so I'm just gonna start explaining because people are gonna fucking leave if I if I just keep wasting time like this. I don't know why I can't get it to work. Chat is on the screen natively. You guys can see the chat. I just want to have it like what do you mean it's on the screen? It's not on the screen right now. You guys can see it on the right side. I want to have it in the broadcast just so the space isn't empty, but it's fine. We don't really need it. So just gonna do that. Okay, so I'm working on a video about shield pressure. And I know I just did a video on shield pressure, but I also recognize that that video is like pretty advanced, right? It's trying to get you to figure out like if I do an attack on shield like that, what's the frame advantage? What moves can I do or not do? But what it doesn't do is it doesn't tell you like what's good shield pressure, what's bad shield pressure, what is shield pressure in the first place, what kind of like things should you be considering about shield pressure, how to understand it, etc. Like really basic shit like that, right? And so I was working on the video myself, and I'll probably show you guys the script, but I realized that like what would probably be helpful is number one, for me to have to talk through it and explain to people, and then for people to say to me like, I'm confused. I need this to be explained better, or this is the part where I'm getting stuck, or this feels like I obviously know this already, so why would I be bringing this up? That kind of thing. And so from you guys, if you guys are willing, thank you for already tuning in. I'd love to just sort of hear like, this makes sense, this doesn't make sense, or can you repeat that part, or give me some ideas of where people are going to get stuck. So I'm going to try to explain some stuff, and I'll also be kind of going back and forth through the script I have. So I'll keep that in mind. Basically, here's how I have it structured so far, is shield pressure is a hard thing to define because when people talk about shield pressure, like what is shield pressure? Well, it's like what it sounds like. It's like pressuring an opponent's shield to kind of get, a punish through it somehow. Like whether you're poking the shield, breaking the shield, or punishing the option they do out of shield. So those kind of definitions I don't think are really that helpful. So I think what's easier is to actually explain like what's happening when an opponent shields. And is my shield permanent? Yeah, it is. Okay. So the first thing we want to understand when an opponent's shield, and we have an opponent shielding here, but I'll be the one as an example. So when an opponent shields, there's three relevant factors. The first thing is normally in a different situation that isn't like a special thing. Okay, it doesn't happen here either. Normally, when you're shielding, not in this case, your shield will deplete over time. Obviously, I have Uncle Punch open. It's a special mod where you can do certain trading stuff. But on screen, I would probably have a visual saying, normally your shield depletes over time. And the really, really important thing to understand, and it sounds obvious, but like people actually don't think about this enough, is that whenever you're shielding, the person who does the shielding essentially just turns on a timer, and they have to act before the timer is over because their shield is naturally depleting. Eventually it will break, but more often, as the shield gets smaller, you get more vulnerable. Like, maybe your legs get exposed. Maybe it's your head that gets exposed. For some characters, the shield is already pretty small and it gets even smaller. When you consider that, you realize like, okay, so whenever someone's shielding, I, the attacker who is not shielding, have an advantage. And the second reason you have an advantage is because when you are shielding, you limit your options. For example, I'm not shielding right now. I can dash, I can smash attack, I can do a tilt. When I'm shielding, I can't do that. If I do an F smash, I'll just buffer a roll. If I want to dash, I can't do that. There's no way to dash. So now we know two things. First, when you are shielding, you are at a natural disadvantage because certain options that were once available to you are no longer available to you. And you have to act within a set period of time, or your shield will break or your shield will get poked. On top of that, when the opponent attacks your shield, it speeds up that breaking point, and it makes it so you have to act even quicker. And then the final thing I think people need to understand whenever someone shields, and it's why it's like kind of a weak position in some ways, is shielding is very, very affected by the position you have on stage. So why did it take me to FD? Is that just where it takes me? Okay, it is. I'm going to just quickly go to combo training. So when the final thing is stage positioning. So for example, when I shield here, I am in a, like shield pressure and shielding is very related to stage positioning, because for example, when I roll away here, it's like, it's not a bad option, right? Like I'm rolling away, but when I roll away here, like nothing is happening. I'm very vulnerable to attacks. It's just not a very good option. Similarly, when I'm on a platform, I can do what's called a shield drop. You know, I can shield drop back air, or shield drop back air, shield drop down air, whatever. When I'm not on a platform, I can't do that. So wherever you are on shield, like, you know, there's other examples. When I'm on shield, I can wave dash back to the ledge, and then the ledge gets me invincibility, and maybe I could do something like wave dash back to the ledge and then ledge dash and not miss it. But you get the idea. Like the stuff that you can do on shield, like if you're here, another relevant thing is like if someone hits your shield, it can push you back onto the ledge. So shielding and stage positioning go hand in hand, and depending on where you are on the stage, that will affect your, like how effective your shield pressure is, or it will affect the shield pressure period. So that's the first stuff you need to understand, is that when someone's shielding, they have like certain trade-offs and stuff that they are kind of accepting by gaining the ability to block attacks for a limited amount of time. The second thing you need to understand about shield pressure is that, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Another thing about like the whole limitations thing is that, yeah, you can't dash, yeah, you can't do F smashes, but also like if I was able to do a frame by frame thing here, it would show that when you act at a shield, you also usually have a amount of startup lag to do something. For example, if I want to shine, like it's hard to do. Like if I want to shine like that, grounded shine, I actually have to jump first to get out of shield. Whereas if I want to shine normally, I just shine. So the real quick difference would be like if I do like a nair shine here, the shine comes out on frame 1, but if I were to shine out of shield, I have to enter 5 frames of jump squat to leave the shield and then shine on the 6th frame. So a lot of your moves that you still can do, like up smash at a shield, or whatever, might be slower than they would be if you were just like, you know, say you want to do an aerial and you're already in the air, you just do the aerial. But if you're on the ground, you gotta jump first and then do the aerial. So on top of like literally just removing certain options from when you're in shield, shielding also makes it so that some of the options you still have are slower, usually because you jump out of shield, and that's the fastest way to get out of shield. Because I mentioned this in my video, but when you drop shield, this like guard drop animation takes 15 frames. So no one ever really does out of shield pressure by just dropping shield, because it takes too long. So now that you understand that, and by the way, like, does anyone have any questions? Anything from the chat that like so far, is everything making sense? And does this, to you guys, does this feel like a good place to sort of start the discussion, I guess? I'm curious. Would love to hear just someone say something. But so am I not in focus? Yeah, I'm in focus now. How do I stomp out of shield? Stomping out of shield, if you were Falcon, would just be jumping and then hitting C stick, and you do a down air. So knowing what we know, I'm hearing people say I like this. I think I'm gonna take that as this makes sense so far. So knowing what you know now, that like, okay, shielding kind of comes with some trade-offs, and most importantly, they have to act sooner rather than later, because if they don't, they will just break their shield or get shield poke. You can watch the VOD later, but I'm using this as a way to make a YouTube video later. So like I'll do like an unlisted playlist on my YouTube channel, or not an unlisted playlist. This will be unlisted, but on a playlist you can watch it. Up smash at a shield doesn't. I actually realized it's a bad example. I'm pretty sure up smash at a shield is like 1 frame of entering, and then you cancel the jump with an up smash. But I could be wrong. So I think it's 1 frame slower, but also like when you do a jump canceled up smash out of a run, you have to jump cancel it as well. So ignore that for now. That's just gonna make things more complicated. But it was a bad example by me. But something like, you know, I don't know, up B at a shield or something. Like say like it has, actually that might also be can't jump canceled. It's a little bit complicated. Point is, when you do this, certain things get slower, right? Like if I wanted to do a 4-frame back air and I'm just in the air, I just start the back air whenever, whereas if I'm on the ground, I have to do the thing. All right, Gurka, sounds good. Yeah, so just check out my YouTube and look for the playlists, and it'll be in there somewhere. I have like other streams I've done that I don't want to crowd my existing YouTube channel. Anyway, so if you're just joining us, the TLDR is when you shield, you got to act quickly. You got to you know, there are you lose a lot of options you would have if you weren't shielding, and it's heavily affected by where you are on the stage. The next thing you want to understand about when you're in shield and shield pressure in general is there are basically 4 relevant options out of shield. One of them, I'll go through them all right now, and it'd be useful. Maybe I'll just add on screen 4 of them on the left side so we can actually use this space effectively. How do I do that? Let's see, add, and we'll do text. We'll do 4 options, and we'll do, those 4 options are counterattacks, movement, spot dodge, and staying in shield. Well, I'll say hold shield. Don't worry, I'm gonna make this smaller. So these are the 4 options. Excuse me. So let's go through them one by one. So counterattacks is any attack that you do because your opponent, like you're doing out of shield as a way to counterattack what they did. So for example, I'll go back to the attack on shield thing in Uncle Punch. When I do this high nair on shield, this fox is going to counterattack by doing a grab. And now he gets the grab. That would be a counterattack. And I could play around this by doing, like, say this, like spacing outside his range or whatever. But that is one option, which is the counterattack option. And counterattacking can be many different things. It can be an aerial out of shield, you know, whatever aerial, up, down, forward, whatever. Like back, forward, up, down. It can be an up smash out of shield. It can be a, up B at a shield for characters that have up B. It can be, a shine out of shield. It can also, anything that's basically like, the purpose is to attack the person who is pressuring your shield rather to counterattack. So it's always a response to what they're doing because you're in shield, assuming you're going to block their attack. And then if you get hit by the attack or they're doing something that you think you can punish, you counterattack. And keep in mind, even though this is a movement, like a wave dash at a shield, I will count like wave dash shine or like wave dash, let's just use wave dash F smash or like wave dash grab. Those are counterattacks too. Because again, they're all lumped under the same category, which is attacking the opponent out of shield. The next category is moving out of shield. So even though I just said like this is a counterattack, if I go like that, moving out of shield is different because it's usually either trying to reposition to a better spot on stage where they're at less of a disadvantage, or like they're just straight up trying to run away or whatever. And that there's a couple examples. Most popular one is just rolling. So like, okay, he's attacking my shield, I'm going to do a movement option out of shield. Roll to the left, roll to the right. Another really common one is jumping, often full hopping. So like, I gotta get out of here. Like he's attacking my shield, as soon as I can jump, I'm getting out of there. Another example would be wave dashing away, which is, a jump into an air dodge into the ground. So like, oh, this guy attacked my shield, I gotta get out of here. Maybe I'll wave dash back to the ledge. That's where the stage positioning comes in. So those are the 2 probably most relevant options. The reason I have spot dodging as a separate one is it's a movement option, but it like keeps you in the same place. So it's really, it's kind of a hard commitment of like, okay, they're going to attack my shield and then I'm going to spot dodge and dodge whatever attack that I think is going to come afterwards or whatever, right? So that's its own category. And then the final one, and this is a really, 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 really important one to consider, is to just continue holding shield. So let's say, for example, we'll set them to none, and I go like let's say I do late down air, shine, and then I do wave dash back. Like if they keep holding shield, it kind of resets this entire situation. And the only downside of continuing to hold shield, besides the fact that you give up all the stuff I talked about earlier, is eventually your shield will break. But it's really important because the way you want to think of all pressure sequences on shield is that every pressure sequence in the game, every shield pressure thing is effectively some form of risk reward where like if I do something like dashing in front of the shield, I'm not committing a hard option, but maybe I also can't cover if the fox rolls away. Whereas if I do something aggressive like attacking on shield, well, I might get a bigger punish, but also they might be able to counterattack me. You know, if I play outside of Fox's threat range and do something like a spaced F smash or whatever, and I talk about this a bit in my other video, but like every single thing that you're going to be doing is some level of risk reward. Now, certain characters have better or worse shield options. For example, like if I do like really, really good multi-shines, the only way to get out of it is to do a buffered roll, which is you roll and hold the C stick. However, if it's done absolutely frame perfectly, it will even beat the roll, assuming it's not stale. But the thing is if someone's just sitting there going like this on your shield, the chance that they're going to make an error at some point is very high. So even like run up nair, multi-shine shit, which, you know, like clearly I can't do. I can do 2 because usually 2 is enough. Even that loses. So that's the really, really important thing to think about, is that there's no such thing as like some shield pressure sequence where it beats everything. You're just totally fucked. Like the only one is basically not realistically possible, which would be multi-shining. And even that, like this still loses to roll away. Same thing with foxes. It's like if you miss, if the fox's shine is stale, or if it's not like super frame tight, they can get away with through a roll or spot dodge as well. But spot dodge is less useful because they'll spot dodge and then probably get hit by the next shine. Anyway, most important thing, and again, this would all be condensed into a short script, but the most important thing is just all multi-shine does lose to light. We'll get to light shield in a second, because I feel like that's sort of like a different category. I don't think I would say it hard loses to light shield, because light shield pushes you further away, which means that they might not be able to actually attack. And there's also shit like shield DI, which I don't really think is that useful to start off with. But point being, so let's review what we know. Shielding is kind of a disadvantaged state, especially because you need to act at a shield eventually, or your shield will break / you'll get shield poked. Second, there are 4 main options you need to consider at a shield: counterattacks, movement, spot dodge, and hold shield. So now that we know all that, we need to look at every single option is basically trying to deal with one of the 4 options on screen. And it's always going to be weighing the risk reward, because there's usually going to be options that beat something, and, you know, beat some stuff and lose to other stuff. So for example, like the classic example is if I do a late nair into a shine, I will beat grab. When I say late nair, I mean like I'm hitting the nair low on shield. So watch. See, he's set to grab. If I do the high nair, I get grabbed. So this is an example of like I'm doing an attack. Depending on the timing of the shield, it works or doesn't work. Now you might think, okay, well, so shouldn't I just always do a late nair? Well, this is where this list of options come in. If I do a late nair, and I'll try to explain this with a dummy, but it'd be way easier if I had a second person. If I do a late nair on shield into a shine, what happens is the late nair is safe, and the shine is not safe. The shine, they can grab that shine unless I do a second shine after it. Unless I immediately go, like say for example, late nair shine, immediate aerial. If they try to grab after the shine, that immediate aerial will lose. So what's happening is basically like there's one interaction where there's like some level of mix up. In this case, I'm doing a late aerial. And then once that interaction is over, we enter a new interaction. So the way to kind of think of it would be like, if I have the text, it's like sequence, seek 1, seek 2, these stand for sequence, seek 3, and like usually most sequence, like most attack on shield sequences or shield pressure sequences, they often like they don't have that many layers of like mix-ups. So the reason, like by mix-up, I mean like it beats some things, loses to other things. It's sort of like a rock paper scissors. So the rock paper scissors here is like if I do late nair shine, it beats grab and a lot of other out of shield options they have. But if they wait until the shine is over rather than trying to grab after the nair, they beat that. So the way that I deal with that is doing an immediate aerial afterwards, like say something like this. Oops, let me just pull them over. So I do like late shine, and then I do immediate back air. And the thing is, when I do that immediate back air, so I do the late nair to beat the shield grab, and then I do the shine into immediate back air to beat the shield grab after that. Well, one of the things you got to think about here is that late nair is a low aerial on shield. High nair is shield grabbable. Similarly, late back air might beat shield grab, but high back air loses to it. Well, when I go late nair shine immediate back air, that immediate back air is a high back air. And then it just brings us all the way back to the beginning. Where now, if the person opted to do one of these 4 options, which in this case, they opted to hold shield the whole way through. So I did late nair, like late nair shine, immediate back air. At the very end, because they held shield in the first sequence, which was the late nair, the second sequence, which was the shine, and finally continued to hold shield on the third sequence, now they're able to shield grab because you did a high aerial on shield. And so this is why shield pressure can get kind of complicated, but it's also actually like really, really simple when you understand what's going on. Is that like the first sequence, I'm just gonna time you out, dude. Like Sebastian, you keep asking the same thing. Sorry, it doesn't make any sense. I'm not gonna do it anyway. So is this making sense so far? Because this is kind of the inherent challenge, is that like if you are a more experienced player, you kind of understand that like every time you do something around shield, you're playing around the 4 options that I have on screen: the counterattacks, the movement, the spot dodge, and the hold shield. And that late nair, for example, it doesn't have a like the problem is that each sequence they do, like a sequence might have like no hard counters initially, but then the sequence continues and it's like what they do after that. This is what I was saying, that there's no shield pressure that just beats everything, because even the multi-shine example where like someone was going like this, like that, even that like still is counterable by a roll. And of course, like, yeah, what's up, Alston Melee? Yeah, so like what I'm trying to articulate basically is just sort of like everything you're doing on shield is going to have like some counter, and what actually matters is like what you're doing and what you're trying to beat. So like the late nair is trying to beat the shield grab. The shine is the thing you use to punish the immediate shield grab. But if they don't shield grab, then they can shine. Oh, did my stream just drop? It says, okay, good, never mind. If they don't shine, then you can if they don't grab after the shine, then you can immediate aerial to punish it. Or if they do, I feel like I should write this down. This is the thing about like if I was doing this in a video, I would have examples on screen. But the core thing is that like each of these things is sort of beating something. And so like let's just use another example with Falco, right? Let's say I do late nair shine laser. What this is doing is it's trying to beat the immediate shield grab, and then if they hold shield and wait for the late nair shine so that they don't go for the immediate grab and don't get beat, but then opt to do the roll after the shine is over, the laser is trying to cover their roll in a soft. It's like a soft cover. It's like a low risk. So I'm going like late nair shine laser, and I would fast fall the laser so it looked more like this. Sorry, you can't see it because of the shield, but it looked like this. And what that's doing is it's soft covering the roll away because he'd get hit by the laser, and it's trying to beat the grab. Well, what does that lose to? Well, you know, if I do the late nair shine and they try to grab, either immediately after the shine or when I start my laser, because like laser has startup lag, right? Like the laser isn't out initially. Like, see, I have to jump, then I have to wait for it to come out. So they can grab me during that period. But my idea is like, okay, but if they try to roll, I'll beat the roll. Or if they try to wave dash back, I'll like beat the wave dash back because I lasered. That would be an example of like a shield pressure sequence. A different one might be like I do a nair fade back, like we use the grab example again, nair fade back, and then I punish the end lag of the grab. And this is me specifically trying to beat grab. But if, for example, they don't, let's say they don't grab and they wave dash away here, and I go for, like, and I'm doing a sequence that, again, hard counters one thing, or maybe soft counters one thing, but is going to lose to other things. In this case, I'm trying to beat the counterattack, which is the grab, or even like a shine out a shield or something, by fading back. But if they wave dash away, well, now I can't punish them anymore because they're too far away. See? So I gave up, I got one thing, I gave up a different thing. And there's a bunch of different options that you can be playing around. Like, say, for example, this probably, you know, the fade back nair, it beats that as well. But, so, and like, its goal is basically to be like, I'm going to beat whatever counterattack you're doing. But because you're fading back, it's a bit more low risk, low reward, because if they do anything that like pulls them away, then you lose the pressure situation that you had. And there's certain things where like they might be able to get shield up again. You get the idea, right? So the most important thing to think about is just like there's these rock paper scissors situations going on where like I do X thing and then it is going to either like cover or lose to certain options that they have. And the only possible options they have are in these four categories. Some kind of counterattack, which is almost always like aerials out of shield, B attacks. Like literally the only options that Falco has, for example, are like all of his aerials. I know I've gone over this already. The up smash, which looks like this. Shine out of shield, which, you know, that's not a perfect grounded shine, but whatever. And up B as shield is a shit option, so don't even need to count it. But for other characters, it can be good. And what else is good? If we exclude power shields, you can't do things like F smash and shit. Sebastian, I'm literally gonna time you out again. Like, stop asking me the same stuff over and over again. I'm not going to Peach's Castle to do something. If you do it again, you will be banned. So, so why does all this matter? Well, basically, like, when people come up with shield pressure stuff and they're just doing, say, for example, like they're just always doing nair shine, nair shine. Like I said before, all shield pressure has like weaknesses. And so if you do the late nair shine, the immediate counter to that is the grab. And since we're doing late nair shine, late nair shine, late nair shine, the sequence is the same every time. So it's always going to beat the shield grab, the immediate shield grab, and it's always going to lose to the late shine, right? Like, unfortunately, there's no way in Uncle Punch to set it to grab after the shine. But like, if it doesn't make sense why it loses, it's because the late nair comes low enough on shield that when they start the grab, they won't have enough time to get it out before the shine comes. But then if you do an immediate late nair again, a later nair is vulnerable in the startup between the nair, right? Like, as I'm doing this, think about the space. Think about all the time that I'm taking in front of Fox's shield just doing nothing, like, until the nair comes out. Whereas, like, here, a hitbox is defending me. So if, for example, the Fox were to try to, like, up smash, like, say, for example, I did a high nair and they were starting an up smash or something. Like, if he starts a grab just as this aerial's coming down, it's going to hit him before because it's already out. Does this make sense to people in the chat? Is that, like, you come in, you do a higher nair, yeah, it loses to the shield grab, but it beats someone who's already acting at a shield. Or say, for example, they did a spot dodge, maybe the high nair catches the stuff out of shield. The second thing that, like, a lot of people miss is that, like, there's a lot of stuff, and this goes back to this idea that, like, because the person is in shield, they're always like in a disadvantage, is that doing like this, like, is almost as good as just doing this, because as their shielding depletes whether you're hitting it like that or whatever, you know. I do not practice multi-shines because beyond 2 shines, it's usually not that useful, and I'll explain why in a sec. But just doing this, their shield is depleting either way. So, like, yeah, it's useful to kind of hit it and make the shield go farther. And sometimes if their shield's really low, you attack to actually poke them or to make it break. But, like, also just doing this, or let's be fucking real, just doing this as they're in shield, like, their shield's just going to deplete. And as long as you can't get hit by their counter options, which in the case of Falco, like, you know, he can only drift so far, right? Like, if he doesn't nair out a shield, like, he can't threaten that much space. So that's why you can like literally stand in front of someone and you're pressuring their shield. Is nair, shine, spam bad on shield? That's the thing. There's no such thing as like, okay, there is such a thing as bad shield pressure in the sense that like side B on shield is bad because it's not like, it's not protecting you from anything and it's immediately punishable. Or like up B when there's no fucking hitbox here is bad. But late nair shine isn't bad. It just beats some things and loses to other things. And the thing you want to understand, and the thing that a lot of players miss, is they'll do like late nair shine, late nair shine, late nair shine, and what they think they're doing is like shield pressure, and they are doing shield pressure, but what they're really doing is saying scissors, 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 and hoping the opponent does paper. And then what happens in a lot of noob games, not to call people noobs, but you get what I mean, is that they'll go late nair shine, or whatever. And then the moment the person throws out rock, they're like, oh fuck, I got hit by rock. Okay, next time, late nair shine, late nair shine. And in this case, rock, by the way, is the grab after the shine. Because if you look at my frame data video, you'll see that like late nair shine, Falco has the advantage. But the shine, like if I were, like watch this, okay? This is the way to understand it. So late nair shine, if you do it properly, beats shield grab, right? But watch if I just do just shine. Well, I get grabbed. So the reason why waiting for the shine to end works is because the late nair on shield is one sequence, and then the shine is the second one. Does that make sense? So like so late nair shine beats shield grab because the shine comes out before the shield grab occurs. But then if they waited until afterwards, it's basically the same as if I just did a shine on shield like this. Now, if I do two shines on shield, well, then I beat the shield grab again. But like each of those is a different sequence. So the point is like, yeah, like Rake Gareth Productions basically has it where it's like, these are all just different sequences. So if every time you do late nair on shield, you will always beat the shield grab immediately. Yeah, they're separate sequences with separate mix-up options. So the problem I think people have, and I'll use like paint for this, is like they see it as like, you know, what beats what? Like, does one beat two? Oh my god. But what they're, oh wait, this isn't even on screen, is it? Okay. They see it as like this, like does one beat two? When in reality, it's like sequence one, sequence two, sequence three. And like one might beat two, but does two lose to one? And like they're not seeing it as multiple. So no, that's the thing. Late nair double shine isn't optimal either, because late nair double shine is just the same sequence 3 times instead of 1. This is why I think it's very confusing, but if you start to get more familiar with it, it makes a lot of sense. So for example, if late nair shine beats grab, right? Late nair shine, that beats grab. But shine loses to grab because it attacks and they can get the grab out. But I can do double shine and beat the grab. Well, what can the opponent do to beat it? Does anyone know? Does anyone know what, if I go late nair double shine, what beats it? And the answer is like kind of obvious once you figure it out, but it just is dependent on, I'll go back to the 4 factors we had originally. What were the 4 factors? Counterattacks, movement, spot dodge, and hold shield. Those are the 4 things they can do out of shield. Yes, holding shield, if that's what you mean by wait. So, because the thing is a double shine, the first shine, basically the way to think of it is like, when you shine, they can shield grab you. But if you do 2 shines, when they start up the shield grab, the second shine comes out before they get hit. But if you do 2 shines, and then they just wait for the second shine to be over, and they grab, well, it's the same thing as if you did 1 shine. Does that make sense? Unless, of course, you're doing a 3rd shine after that. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if you do late nair double shine, like, that beats, like, the thing is, like, late nair double shine is probably going to be better than late nair. Like, the thing is, like, late nair double shine, it isn't really different from late nair immediate, like late nair shine into immediate back air, because both of them are going to lose to sort of whatever you're doing. And that's the thing, is like most people don't have like multiple shine pressure. So this is why, like, even if you're really good at late nair double shine or late down air double shine or whatever, at the end of the day, there's always going to be a point in the sequence where you're throwing out rock and they could throw out paper, or you're throwing out scissors and they could throw out rock. Does that make sense? And it's just any shield pressure sequence. Like when you see someone do something like, or sorry, like I don't know, like whatever it might be, where they're, I'll set them to none again, where it's like shine down, shine, late shine nair, fade back nair or something. That's going to beat something, but it's going to lose to something else. And the reason why this isn't intuitively obvious, even when we have practice tools like this shit, is that like these always show you one sequence. So like if I do late nair shine, oh, we learn, okay, late nair shine beats up smash, and regular shine loses to up smash, and double shine beats it. But what you're not seeing is that like as long as they have the option to hold shield, to sort of reset the whole thing, then it makes it complicated. Or as long as they have the ability to, like, because the other thing is, let's do roll away, right? I'll do late nair shine. Oh, it loses to roll too, you know? So now it loses to a movement option and hold shield. So how do I beat roll away? We'll get into how DI plays into it. Largely it doesn't, because the concept is actually called shield DI. Basically what happens with shield DI is if like when you get hit by a thing, it pushes you. So like I'll do my most powerful forward smash. See how he gets like dragged a bit? I'll set it to none for now. So like when I hit someone, they get dragged away. If they were also holding away while doing it, they would kind of slide further. Does that make sense? So sometimes, like let's say my shield pressure sequence, this is a really weird one, but like is forward smash on a shield and then a second forward smash. Well, if they shield DI away, they might be too far for the second shine to hit. And where shield DI actually gets relevant is like if I'm sitting here multi-shining someone's shield, you see how he's slowly moving away from me? Like eventually they're gonna, instead of being me on top of the shield, they're gonna be more like here, and I'm gonna be going while they're already not even being attacked. So, but I'll get to shine grab in a sec. But the most important thing basically is just realizing that like oftentimes a good option beats certain things and then loses to other things. And the way you want to conceptualize shield pressure is just sort of like, what does this beat and what does it lose to? And usually the sequence kind of resets if they stay in shield. Yeah, that's the thing, is like I want to figure out what I want to cover. Keep in mind, the whole reason I'm doing this stream is to like figure out what people are getting stuck on and what people are finding easy to understand, etc. So say for example, I want to beat roll away. So I'll do a little quiz, guys. How do you think I would beat roll away? If I was Falco and I want to cover this option, I want to make sure that I hit it before the roll away. And by the way, the way you'd cover roll away, just so you guys are aware, is that like you're hitting them either before they can get their second shield out or before they can roll and get an attack out. How do you think we would do that? Does anyone have any ideas? So short hop laser would be one. Does anyone have any other ideas? Well, it wouldn't just be short hop laser. It'd be like laser, like late something. So here's what I would do. So we know that late nair shine beats shield grab, right? But the problem with late nair shine is if we start the nair late, that means we're gonna and then do the shine. Shine you can't jump out of until frame 3, I think. So shine actually is a commitment, and the same with that if I do late nair up smash or something, that's committing me to a certain amount of lag. So if I want to cover the roll, I need to be in less lag. I need to be less committed so I can immediately cover the movement option afterwards. So the way I might do that is like jumping and then doing another nair. So the sequence looks like this. Before I actually hit the shield, it looks like this. Or I might literally tomahawk and then run over, like just to get bait the option, right? And we'll get to, sorry, I'll do like an empty hop. Tomahawk is a confusing term. Yeah, cross up could also work. Like we space depending on where I hit them. Like maybe I'm already, like, you know, I hit them at a point where they're already gonna buffer the thing. Grounded shine, just look up the frame data on framedata.com. I don't have, because I don't have it to do it like, I don't have frame thing. It's basically just that like shine has an animation. You can't just like a common misconception with people is that like if shine is frame 1, doesn't that just mean shine shield pressure is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Like you're just sitting there going like, but the reality is that like when you're shining, to do another shine, you jump cancel the shine, meaning you like jump out of the first shine, and multi-shining is just like jumping on the first, or shining on the first possible frame after jump squat. So you can see like the reason why he's sitting there like crouching is because he's about to start his jump and then he does the shine. But yeah, so the example, thanks Fraser, cross ups can be character dependent because better out of shield because in front of them. Like, so like I do the late nair and then so we're trying to beat roll away, right? So one way to do that nair, is nair on shield and then do an immediate second nair. Like to try to cover the place where they're going to be rolling like that. Because if I do the shine, I can't get there in time before they have the next shield up. Do you see what I'm saying? Same thing with late dare. Like I can do the same thing. Or like people said, I could do late nair, laser. But what do we see about laser? It's a softer coverage. Because when I laser, yeah, I cover it, but all I'm covering it with is a laser. So like they still get hit, and they're still in maybe kind of a, oh crap, I still feel under pressure. But it's not like this situation where I'm actually hitting them with another nair and potentially getting a punish. But what the thing is what is the problem with covering roll away in this way? If I do a nair, no shine into a second nair, what is happening here? Does anyone want to take a guess? Basically, the frame data for multi-shining is on frame 8, you can shine again. So you shine, and then I think you jump on frame 3, I guess. And then there's 5 frames. I have to look it up. It literally just Google multi-shining. I think I can link stuff. Multi-shining, smash, pedia. Or double shine, this is fine. This is the frame input. So it says, yeah, frame 1, you shine. Frame 4 for Fox and Falco, you jump. Then after the frame of jump squat, you shine again. Okay, no. So yeah, you guys. So the thing is, so if I'm covering, so yeah, this might be a part where it's confusing. So if I'm covering roll like this, notice that late nair shine beats shield grab, but late nair into nothing does not. And the reason is because the late nair, if we want to get frame advantage, late nair is +0 on shield, like the absolute latest nair. But the reason why shine beats it, even though it's +0 means like neither Falco nor Fox has the advantage. The reason that it beats it is because when I do a late nair into a shine, shine comes out the immediate frame afterwards, where if the opponent wants to grab takes 7 frames for Fox. Does that make sense? So my punish comes out on frame, in this case, let's just say 1, and their punish comes out on frame 7. So even though after the nair we were both equal, it beats them. But if I do just a late nair, yes, that can beat the grab, sorry, the roll away, or by the way, the wave dash away. See what I mean? Because wave dash is also like another movement option. That's why it's grouped under movement. But does it beat grab? If I do late nair and try to, oh shit, I get grabbed. Because the shine was the thing that was beating them. That was like the second attack. So if I do this, it hard loses to grab. And this is what I mean about like a wheel of rock, paper, scissors stuff. So if you want to figure out specific frame stuff, watch the video I just made, basically. Because that gives you the actual, like, the So spacing is absolutely relevant, and this is why the video I posted most recently, cover stuff, is like, yes, you could do a thing where you go really low on shield and dash through and beat the grab, Samuel. But then when you do that, like if they roll, like, so here's again this like wheel of different options. If you do this and you try to beat the grab, and you're also thinking, I'm gonna cover this space to roll away, and they roll this way, well, now you're all the way over here and they're all the way over there. Does that make sense? So it's like, haha. So there isn't this like, oh, well, all I need to do is just space it, because yeah, now you can beat the grab, but do you beat other things? And by the way, that beats the grab, but does it beat the shine? Well, they shine on both sides. Do you see what I mean? So shine is actually frame 5. It's actually faster than grab. So not every character has shine, but maybe a character has Nair out of shield or something, which hits on both sides. Or maybe they have up B out of shield like Samus. It's going to vary character to character. And the way you can check this is by looking at the spreadsheet I made on my previous video, which outlines all the frame stuff. And that's why it's useful to actually like go frame by frame and figure out what you can and cannot do. But this is what I'm trying to demonstrate, is that like every option you do is going to like win or lose to certain options. And there obviously are going to be some options, like, because this is kind of like a rock paper scissors scenario, except instead of 3 options they might have 10. Like we can see the options that we have on screen, right? Counterattacks, movement, spot dodge, hold, shield. But within counterattacks they have, you know, they have up smash, they have grab, they have shine, they have back air. You get the idea. So there's actually like a bunch of mini options there. And within counterattacks, like maybe he does a nair out of shield, but if I space around the nair, it doesn't matter. Or maybe I hit on the back of the shield and he does a nair and it's in the front. Like if we were using Marth as an example, Marth, really common character in the game, and we set him to forward air out of shield. Okay, we can't do that. Like his nair is going to cover a set amount of space, but if I get outside of that space, I'll dodge it, but then like I might not be able to punish what he does next, or like there's always this wheel of like this beats X, this beats Y. And so what you really want to be thinking is like, you know, I could set it to shine so it beats a counter or whatever, but see, that's too slow. You know, up B, lose to the late nair, but if I try to do the other thing, it'll beat it. Is what I'm saying coming through though, that there's always this kind of like, you do this, they could do that. And like oftentimes when you pick an option that beats their option, it might lose to other options. So they always have counter stuff. And that's where the original points that I was talking at the very beginning come in, where their counter options, like holding shield in a lot of senses resets this whole sequence, where like if they hold shield, they might like, then we've entered a new tree of options. But eventually they can't hold shield because their shield just gets smaller and smaller. That's why like multi-shining and shit, while it loses to roll, again, like frame perfect roll, which is you do by holding the shield and then C-sticking left or right. While it loses, I've seen Mango doing sequences roughly like late nair, shine, laser, shine. So late nair, shine, I'll explain that. Let's break that down. Late nair, shine, that's trying to beat grab or other attacks out of shield at a close range. And we'll ignore like if he does the nair on this side or that side. Let's just focus on the basics right now. So late nair, shine, that's going to beat stuff like an immediate grab. If the opponent does an immediate grab, he does the laser to beat the roll afterwards into a shine. So because you can laser shine, like the point of the laser is like, what if they don't roll? Well, that's what the shine is for. And so the way to think of it is like late nair shine beats grab and other attacks to shield, but if they attack after it, they'll still be able to punish you. And so because he does the laser afterwards, that's also punishable, because laser is just like any other attack, right? Like if we say this beats, like if we imagine I do late nair, shine, nair, like if I do late nair into late nair, that's the same as like late nair, shine into laser. because the laser is like an attack. So what he's trying to beat is late nair shine beats the immediate grab, and then the laser afterwards beats the potential roll if they do it after, and then the final shine is just covering kind of the, like, when you land, adding the shine in is just like a, what's the word, like there's no downside really, except for if they wait after that and grab you. So he's kind of saying like late nair shine, if you grab or attack, I'll beat you. If you're still in shield, then you might roll immediately afterwards, and I'll laser to cover the roll to the left at least. But it'll lose to this roll, like lose, and it'll also lose to if he tries to attack me before I get my laser out. And then if they're still in shield and I shine, maybe their shield is small enough at this point that the shine shield pokes, or maybe, you know, like that enters a new decision tree. So like a useful way to look at this would be to open up, like I included this video in my YouTube video. It's a Walt video, because I think it was like, it highlights a lot of what's it called? A lot of what I'm talking about. Okay, so let's just full screen this, and we'll have my camera smaller. So let's just watch like an example shield pressure sequence. So he goes laser. That laser is like covering a potential attack out of shield. Like before he's even in shield, he's lasering. Maybe if Leffen ran in, the laser would hit him. Then he does a down tilt that's like spaced, right? So Leffen tries to wave dash to punish it, and Mango immediately wave dashes after the F tilt, because he's trying to run away from the immediate counterattack, which is what Leffen's trying to do here. And then that's the immediate counterattack with the shine. And then he runs and back airs because he's trying to punish that immediate counterattack, right? So this is the sequence. He does laser, which is just part of his neutral. This is a stream. I'm talking. So if you want to ask questions, you can. The reason why I made this stream is I'm basically trying to like figure out what people are going to get stuck on, because I'm working on a larger video. So yeah, so he does the down tilt, and then Mango reads, because this is a read, this is not like him reacting, that Leffen is going to try to punish this. And so he, as soon as he can, like basically runs away and covers it with a back air. But let's imagine that Leffen didn't try to punish it, and he was still in shield. Well, now we have Mango here. Leffen's probably, can you guys see my cursor? Yes, you can. And Leffen's probably still here, and that's now a new situation. So now Leffen's in shield. Mango's too far away to pressure necessarily, but Leffen still is in the corner. So now Mango has to react to whatever he ends up doing in that situation. Does that make sense? So like, it's not that this, so it's like every like bit of pressure he's doing is just like covering certain options and losing to other options. Then he closes out the stock. And actually, you know, it's useful to see what happened after the sequence. So he knocks him off stage. Okay, so yeah, because he gets the punish, then he gets an edge guard. Right. Okay, so let's look at this one. So laser again, just because laser is in neutral, will cover certain things. He hits him. He goes for a down air, but he's going to pull it back because he's going to try to bait out an attack. So he pulls it back. Oh, no, he doesn't. The first one, he does a late one thing to beat the grab. This is now vulnerable to if the opponent grabs on shield. Axe doesn't want to do that, or like chooses not to do that because he's worried, like, what if he does a second shine here? Then I'll get hit by the shine. So he stays in shield. And then Mango does an immediate down air. So again, if he had tried to attack between that first shine and this, he would have been punished. And he does a fade back, which now Axe guessed after the second attack and went for the up smash, and Mango was out of the range. And then Mango did an immediate back air in case he, instead of doing a up smash, did a wave dash forward attack. This would beat it. And then let's see what happens afterwards. Okay, so that's just the full sequence. But you can easily imagine, like, if for example, let's say, so he does this late dare, and instead of doing an immediate down air, he does a low second down air. Pikachu could grab between the first down air, between the space after the first shine and the second down air, because you're starting the down air so late that there's a period of time where you're vulnerable. But if, for example, Mango did a late, was it dare? I think late dare into double shine, then that would beat the grab. So there's just this wheel of different options. And so let's bring this back to like what I was talking about before. Counterattacks, movement, spot dodge, hold shield. These are the 4 things that every sequence is playing around. So let's watch this sequence. So he does an early downer on shield. So this will be punishable by a grab. But Fiction, or like depending on the height, it's hard to tell. But I think it was punishable by the grab. Fiction wasn't ready for it though. Couldn't tell because it's not really always reactable if they're going high or low. So he does a shine, and then what does Mango do afterwards? Wave dashes away. He does an immediate spot dodge, thinking like, oh, maybe I'll spot dodge the double shine or something and punish it. So Mango does a wave dash away. If, for example, Fiction had done a wave dash away himself, he would have been in neutral. He would have been over here. But if Fiction had done a wave dash towards center, this wave dash that Mango did puts him in a position to punish. So then Fiction, now there's a new situation where he did a spot dodge, and Mango, who was in a position to punish, reacts to his long spot dodge that has a lot of lag and forward smashes it. And that's the sequence. Let's look at another one. Okay. Downer, this is not on shield yet. He's just attacking him. Okay. Does a shine. He does a laser in case he rolls. And also because laser is an attack as well. And if you do a late laser in the same way that you can do a late nair and shine, it will sometimes beat the grab. So does a late nair. I'm sure he's going to do a shine afterwards. Yep. And then, okay. So now this situation, like, what's he going to do next? We're in a new mix up where like maybe Fox can grab here depending on the height of his nair. So he goes for late neutral air. So Fox could have grabbed there, right? And then maybe Fox is thinking I'm going to grab now or shine now. So he does a dash back to go around it. And then he does another laser. But if Fox, for example, decided to wave dash back, this laser would hit him, but Fox would still have center stage, right? And then the interaction would be over. So like there's always trade-offs here. So he goes for late shine, and then he tries to cover where he is. And in this case, what happened? What was he doing? He was, oops, it's plus, right? How do I do? I want to just like quickly. Yeah, he was going for a jump and he went in for a downer. But again, if he had wave dash away, he'd probably be okay earlier. Like it. Is this making sense? I feel like this is what makes it so tricky to explain. So we got laser here. He's in the corner. Keep in mind stage positioning. Always going to be Wait. You are watching the stream live. Do you mean I didn't realize I was watching the stream live? Because what you just said meant I didn't realize I wasn't live. Anyway, jab. He does a nair, fade back nair. So this is going to be grab in its own way. But again, fade back nair if Zane was not in the corner. And this is a perfect example of a positional situation. He does the fade back nair because if Zane does a roll away, it doesn't push him that far. So normally fading back might be safer, but it gives up position and then they can escape. But he can't really escape here. So he fades it back, baits out the shield grab, goes for the forward smash. But even if Zane had like wave dash back, the safest possible thing that he could have done would have been just to wave dash back to this ledge. And then Martha's on the ledge and he has his own limitations. I would also not say, by the way, that fade back nair is ballsy. It's not. That's the thing, is it's not about whether it's ballsy or not. Like that's kind of, and I'm not trying to call you out or anything. These all just do different things. They all just beat different options. So for example, like if you do a proper fade back nair on Marth, who is grabbing, you get outside the range, right? See what I'm saying? Poor spacing versus good spacing. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. Gotcha. Anyway, see, like bad spacing, good, still bad spacing. I was gonna say good spacing, better spacing. But so it's not that it's ballsy. It just beats certain options. Like it'll be, like, you know, will it beat a Nair as well? We'll see. Yeah, it does, but not when spaced poorly. The other thing too is like other factors can come into play. Like if he goes, say for example he does Nair here, I just can crouch under it, or I can just like CC it. Like there's other shit like that that can play a role. But the most important thing to think about is that everything is like a rock, paper, scissors. And every time one situation ends, and like many situations can occur on shield all at once. So like when you see an opponent go like this, that was like the first sequence was the late Nair shine. The second sequence was the immediate Nair afterwards. And the third sequence was sort of like the fade back, or like you can treat them as 2 or 3 sequences. And all those are going to have different advantages or disadvantages. Let's look at a different character besides the Spacey, because another really common misconception is that Spaceys have shield pressure and other characters don't. Let's have Marth shield pressure. Say, for example, I do a fair that's spacing back. Bait the grab. I can do the same thing that Falco does in some situations, where like I go space. Okay, I'm poking Marth's shield. Let me just get it. I want to be doing second fair, and for some reason I'm not. Like there's an example, or for some reason I'm not doing the second fair. There. Do you get what I'm saying? Like that's a fade back thing. Or maybe, for example, I dash. It looks like I'm gonna dash in. He goes to grab. I dash out, and then, like by committing to the grab, I can punish, right? So like like I'm going in, and he's like, "What should I do? What should I do? Should I attack now? Should I attack then?" This is shield pressure too. Or maybe a really big thing that I haven't mentioned, and this is such an important thing to think about, so I should have mentioned this earlier, is that you don't have to, like the reason why I think a lot of people get tripped up on this shit is they think, okay, the reason late Nair shine beats grab is because it has a frame advantage of 0, and you know, I know it says 3, but that's because I did a earlier one. Like I'll get it to say 0. -1. 0. There we go. Is that the latest possible Nair has 0, and so if he shines, it beats grab because grab is frame 7. But one of the things you need to also think about is just if I just jump in front of Fox's shield or Marth's shield or whoever, this is what's called an empty hop or a tomahawk. They might go, "What's he gonna do? I'm gonna go for a spot dodge," and I might just go, "All right, I'm gonna after you spot dodged." Like can you imagine the situation? I like jump down, and they go, what am I gonna do? I'll do like I'm gonna just stay in shield, and I go, okay, if you stay in shield, I grab you, or like stay in shield, and then I read the roll. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you don't even need to attack the shield. Now, of course, because I'm not attacking the shield, at any point, literally any point, he can just grab me, or she can just grab me. The player can grab me. But this is the problem with stuff, is that if you have like really, really lightning fast reactions, you can see, okay, they're not coming down with a move. But oftentimes, like, there's so much going on that you're like, okay, what attack are they gonna do? And the fact that they did nothing, like, you know, works really well, especially if like, because they did nothing, they're not in any lag. And so if they do something like this, you know, and you go grab, like say for example, I land in front of the shield, they start the grab, then I can shine as they're doing their grab startup and hit them. And where you see this very, very often, like most often, is with this fucking character. Where like they'll go, and then they'll do like an up tilt. So they'll go like, I'm on your shield, and then just as you start a thing, they'll up tilt. Or like, I'm on your shield, what you gonna do? Well, I'll grab you. And like this stuff shouldn't work because there's no attack that's actually working. But because Melee is like a rock, paper, scissors game, where whenever you're playing around shield, you're playing around, again, these 4 options: counterattacks, movement, spot dodge, and holding shield. You know, it always becomes a factor. And by the way, again, Martha's a perfect example of how like shield health matters. See, this is his full shield, and you can see like his head is poking out right here. And like maybe there's a hitbox I can get like down there. Probably not. I don't know if I can like, but this whole time we've been looking at like, where's my cursor? At shield sequences where the shield isn't depleting, but all this gets so much more complicated when like, oh wait, I need to make this not full screen. Sec. All of this gets like way easier when like you have okay, wait, do Marth. And we'll do them holding shield. Wait, 20XX. So like right now, Marth is in shield. Oh, I'm not in debug mode, my bad. One sec, let me just go to debug. Let's have him walk over to me. Oh shit, he's already... Okay, like you can see, like the longer he holds shield, I want him to... Like already this situation is so different from the situation we were in before. Like this is why you can be like dash dancing in front of them and they're like, well fuck, I have to do something. And the longer they wait, especially for a character like Marth who has a shitty shield, the more you can just be like, you know what? Your head is poking out, buddy. I'm just gonna attack you. Like Marth is so vulnerable to shield pokes. I'm gonna wait for the shield to recharge. So that's why like holding shield is always an option, but eventually it becomes a shittier and shittier option until the shield breaks. And so that's why like, and then whenever you're attacking, you're doing like, see, I broke the shield anyway, even though I didn't shield poke and it probably would have been better. And keep in mind, like Game & Watch, he's just in that situation all the time. People were asking me some stuff before about like, when can you jump out of Shine? Like, this is the way to see it. Okay, so like, we'll put the action states on. So Shine, 1, 2, 3, or sorry, Shine, 1. That's the second frame. Third frame, I still can't jump, so it's on frame 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You're jumping in the 4th frame. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then on the 9th frame, is that when you do it? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That seems late. 2. Okay, I'm inputting jump. Anyway, that's how you can go into thing and test it. And you can set 20XX to also have options, but let's see if I can poke his head. Yeah, I can. See? What's fucked about Marth is like the moment his shield starts depleting, Nair in particular becomes really good. Cause like watch, I'll have it start to deplete. Like already. Like if I was just a bit later, it's gonna poke. That's what's so crazy about like shield health. Is I'm just sitting here like, all right, I got the shield poke. Definitely something you want to be considering with Marth. But like that's because he's hit the option he's chosen is to just stay in shield, which will beat certain things, as we've already explained. By the way, spot dodge will beat things where like, say for example, I go like late air shine. Say I do like, I'll reset the camera. Say I do like late air shine, and like paid back Nair into spot dodge. If they spot dodge that forward smash, they might be able to punish my end lag or something. That's what spot dodge beats. The problem with spot dodge is like, or like say for example, let's say Marth, I do like, say he punishes me in shield, and then I go to attack him and he spot dodges, like then he can counter punish. Like spot dodge is really basic, and the easiest way to tell if it's gonna work is just to like look at the frame data. Spot dodges always come out on frame 2. So like, and they're always invincible for a certain amount of time. Like watch this. Blue is invincible, right? So like holding shield, I spot dodge. I buffer a spot dodge by holding down. So 1, active on frame 2. This is frame 2. So this first frame invincibility, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So he had 15 frames or 14 frames of invincibility, I think. This is the 15th frame. He's still in escape N. That means, like you see that at the top by the timer. That means he's still in the spot dodge animation. I can't do anything else. I'm holding down shield, so as soon as I'm actionable, I'll be able to shield again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 frames to punish him. That's like kind of how you figure that out. So, what I'd love to hear at this point is like, what do you think is the most confusing? Was the order, like the thing is like this whole stream has taken an hour plus amount of time. And some of that's because like people have had questions and because I've like re-explained what I was explaining. But, oh, also we haven't talked about shine grabs, right? Like where does that factor in? I'll get to that too. But first off, can people talk about like, what they found confusing or easy or hard? Like what would they want more time on? What still doesn't make sense? Are there people that still kind of go, oh, this is all confusing to me? Because now is as good a time as any. By the way, while we're doing this, like, remember how I was talking about like range of out of shield attacks? Well, like, watch, I'm jumping. It's gonna take 5 frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do a back air. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this, sorry, it comes out of frame 4. You can see like there's only so much space I can cover before I land, and like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, this is hitting on the left side, not the right. So if this is another big thing, is like I said, positioning is important. If I do a pressure sequence here, Marth can't grab me because his grab comes out here. Marth can nair me, but he can't forward air me because his forward air comes out like in front of him like this. If he does an up B out of shield, that also comes out forward. So that's the thing that was the most confusing, Mr. Pickles, is late air, is just the sequences. Well, so that's why, like, where you can actually have like a hard and clear answer to what each sequence does is why I made my previous video, which is like, which if you guys haven't already watched it, it's it is called what, how to map out any shield sequence or something like that. I already forget. I changed the title today. The Complete Guide to Attacks on Shield. So like basically that lets you, what do you mean by overview? Like you want answers to like what late air shine does, what late air double shine does. Like I can answer that, but the thing is like it's important to understand that like how to test it yourself too, and that's why I made the other video, because like someone like, number one, there's a lot of like misinformation. So that's the thing is like, to know all possible options, to do like all that, like that's like not the kind of thing you can explain in 5 minutes. What I can do, or even in an hour necessarily, what I can do is just like tell you what you're looking for, right? So like in a matchup, for example, you want to look at like, so let's say for example, what are Falco's out of shield option? His most common ones are something that involves a jump out of shield, like back air, down air, nair. Another really common option is shine, which looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then shining on the first possible frame. It's a 6 frame out of shield option. Shine also, if you look at the size of the hitbox, it's like, oops, you can see it's like really fucking small, man. It's like really small. Very easy to space around shine. Like all you would need to do is be like this. Do you know what I mean? Like shine, very, very small. So the way to know all the options that an opponent has on shield, I have a spreadsheet on my other video, which again, if people care about this stuff, they can watch. And in this spreadsheet are all of the possible options out of shield. But that doesn't tell you everything, right? To figure out like what is the best option, what you need to be doing is like considering the situation, and also to consider like, what are my opponent's best options? So if we look at Marth, like, and we go to my little spreadsheet or whatever, and we see that like full out of shield options, Marth has a grab on frame 7, up B on frame 6, etc. Well, realistically, what are like, no, I'm not. I'm an affiliate on my other channel, so I can't multi-stream. But I just wasn't getting that many viewers on Twitch. I still have subs and stuff on Twitch, but I just didn't want to wait for people to kind of filter in. Well, it's not about picking up on your opponent's habits so much as like here's a good way to explain it. People will talk about like you need to be picking up on your opponent's habits, but what you actually need to be doing is knowing, like let's say for example, you know your opponent does rock, but every time you throw out scissors. Well, the problem isn't that you know what your opponent's doing. The problem is you don't even fundamentally understand what's scissors, what's paper, what's rock. Does that make sense? So like if you come in and you're like, okay, every time I'm going to do a late air shine, and every time they grab you after the shine is over, well, every time you're going for scissors and they're going for rock. Every single time. And for example, that might be that player's limited understanding of shield pressure options. So they might be going like, you might be doing this late air shine every time, and they're like, oh, I have the perfect counter. It's to do the grab after the first shine. Well, then what you need to know is okay, I want to be beating that late air shine thing. So, the grab after the shine. And to do that, you might do late air shine, immediate aerial. And then they can do it. I don't want to opt out Ventus, though. Like, I've already made a bunch of money from it. Like, people still sub to me. So it's not like, and I rarely stream on YouTube. I just wanted to do this specifically because, yeah, Mr. Pickles, this is why I keep trying to say, like, the framework to understand that isn't as simple as just like it is as simple as just like this beats X, this beats Y. But the reason why that isn't like the reason why you have to kind of, the way to figure that out on your own is to be able to understand like what I explained before, which is that every time you do something on shield, there's some stuff it's going to beat and some things that it loses to. And so, for example, if we know that late Nair Shine beats grab, and it also and we know by going onto my spreadsheet that grab is a 7-frame option, that means presumably it should beat any option that takes more time than that. However, because we know that just shine loses to like all of these options, then this whole order of sequences thing, like this is why basically, like, if shield pressure was so simple that you could just like do the correct option every time, it wouldn't be an interesting game to watch. The reason why shield pressure is cool is that it is essentially a rock, paper, scissors game. And sometimes people are going in and they're throwing at rock, and then you throw out scissors, and sometimes they're like or sometimes they're doing like what I would call like soft rock. Like they're doing a counter to rock, but really it's more like it's not as good. No, this is why like I'm doing this, because clearly it is confusing. So just multi-shining isn't always good, because if, for example, let's say they do, I'll go into the thing. So I've already explained a couple times that multi-shining is gonna lose to roll out a shield. So if you go in and say, I'm just going to multi-shine every time, because every shield pressure thing will lose to something, by the way. Every single one. There is no perfect shield pressure. Like, humans can't. Okay, please. All right. There we go. So let's see, for example. So I come in and I go, oops, and I go multi-shine. Well, he just rolls. And because I'm multi-shining, I can't cover the roll. So there, multi-shine, it sucks. Now, if I do it absolutely fucking perfectly, and they act immediately like this guy is, I will actually beat the roll. But then, if they hold shield and then roll, well, then I have to continue to do literally frame perfect. No mistakes whatsoever. Even a single frame is too late. I literally have to do frame perfect stuff. And in the case of Falco, so that's why, like the thing, if you're a newer player, that's really useful is, generally speaking, like, it's not so much opponents' habits. A lot of newer players, they only have like 1 or 2 out of shield options that they use, or they only understand out of shield stuff so well that like they always go for grab, and if they don't go for grab, they go for roll, or like they don't even know that you can wait to grab the shine afterwards. So you just do options that punish grab, and then you'll have a good time. But eventually, when you start to play better players, they're beating the options you were doing before. Like, say for example, I said, oh, I do multi-shine, Well, he rolls out of it. And we talked about this before, but the way to beat that is to hard read that he's going to roll, and then shield poke with forward air, is to do an aerial, like to not do the shine, and then try to cover the roll immediately afterwards, like that. See? Why is it doing a fair? I hate this controller. Do you see what I mean? But then if I do that, I lose to grab again. It's a tactical wheel. It is a rock, paper, scissors. It is not just, haha, multi-shine, I beat you, because it loses to roll. However, like I said, stage positioning matters a lot. If the thing is, if he's in the corner and he rolls away, rolling no longer that good, right? So, because then he's just doing this. He's not moving anywhere. I have lots of time to punish him. So that's why, like, this idea that, like, oh, just do X is a fundamentally flawed, and honestly, I think it's like, it's perpetuated by, like, stupid, like, 20xx stuff. Like, not me, like, calling out players who like to talk about, like, wow, look at how frame perfect pass fucking shield pressure would be. It's more like, it's not like that stuff isn't valuable. It's just that realistically, everything has a counter. And so if we try to frame the conversation around, like, no, you're saying loses to roll, but you can't force in their shield pressure situation. If you're sitting there multi-shining, like, you have committed to the multi-shine. Like, watch. So let's say he rolls away here. Like, I'm sitting there standing and while multi-shining. And now we've entered a new situation. I'm not forcing it, though. Like, he's already out of the situation. Like, I come in. We'll do it literally frame perfectly, just to show you. Shine. Do, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I can jump here. 7. This might be wrong. Ooh, I messed up. Okay. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to think. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I do the thing right now, and it beats it. But yeah, it just resets neutral. Exactly. Like, if I'm doing this, like, and he rolls, which again, that's because I'm not hitting these frame perfect things. Like, well, now we're just back in a new neutral situation. And you could, like, and the way I said to deal with that is to hard read and, like, try to punish the immediate roll, but then that loses to grab. So, like, whenever you're shield pressuring, you're just always weighing things differently, right? You might go like, okay, I'm gonna fade back, and like say for example, let's say for example, instead of doing multi-shine, we did shine, wave dash back. This was a perfect example, by the way. Now I'm in a position to maybe cover that roll because I wave dash it back, and I could do like an up tilt or something, or a second shine. Do you see what I mean? That's a different option. Like, but the way you can conceptualize it for yourself is to go, what am I doing? What does it beat? What does it, like, what does it win against, and what does it lose against? So if I do wave dash back and he rolls, I might be able to punish it before the roll happens, and I might wave dash back before the grab comes out, potentially. I could be wrong. But what I lose is if he rolls this way. Or what I might lose is, like, by wave dashing back, now I'm in the corner and he's sitting here on shield like this, and now I think, fuck, I'm in the corner and he has the advantage now. So it's like, oftentimes when you're committing hard to an option, you usually are, it's a high risk, high reward. So going like this, see, now I'm in the corner, he's got center stage. Or going like this into that, well, this is okay because, like, I have center stage, but if he had shield grabbed me, I would have taken it anyway. Does this make sense? Like, and because, like, you can see when you go to 20xx and you go to CPU codes, you go to out of shield selection. Like, look at all the fucking options there are. Like, so you want to be accounting for these options, and so let's just do a character I don't play, and we'll, like, lab it together. I'll set it back to, let's do what was it? We'll make the option grab first. Let's start with beating grab, because that's one of the most common grab. We'll do Sheik. And let's not do Marth grab because his grab is so big. It's easier to play around like this. So I don't play this character. So maybe it's like spacing thing into immediate dash attack, like, might work. So let's try like space fair, immediate dash attack, or immediate F tilt. That works. Or maybe trying to grab right after he grabs. Yeah, that works. Or maybe like space back air, like and then into down smash. Yeah, maybe. Do you see what I mean? Like, it's like these are interactions that beat the grab, but then if he continues to shield, would they still work? And like usually it's like if you're fading back, well then you're giving them space, but you're also protecting yourself from their counterattacks. If you're hard committing to their rolls away or their rolls in the corner or whatever, then you're losing to options like grab. But do you see what I mean? Another example might be like, I like run up, wave dash down, he grabs, I'm outside of the range and I grab afterwards. That would be like an example of like, or Sebastian, I'm sorry, you're getting banned, dude. Like you just keep asking some random shit about me going to play like on Peaches, whatever. That's like this is the point is not for me to do whatever the weird crap you're asking me to do. Sorry for people who are just tuning in. This guy just keeps asking me to go to like fucking Peach's castle with Koopa something. Like, it just makes no sense. Anyway, I would normally never ban people. It's just he's like for that kind of shit. It's just like he's now asked. I've timed him out repeatedly, and he keeps asking this thing that just doesn't make any sense. Anyway, but do you see how we're like kind of theorizing here? And then the way that we could actually like hard know for sure is we could go like, okay, if I do a late forward air on shield, like what's the frame data for that? And that's what my recent video shows you guys. But like, there's always going to be options like dash dance forward, bait an option, or like run up, wave dash, see if they do something, and then punish. But if like run up, wave dash, will that mean if they, for example, roll away? Well, it's like, it's not so much teaching to fish, it's just understanding like, if every character has these same 4 basic options, which is counterattacks, movement, spot dodge with a shield, and hold shield, we want to figure out what options our character has to beat some of those options. Because again, there's never going to be one that beats them all. So if we do like a space nair, like how spaced does it need to be? Or if we do like what works? Like if we do late nair into grab, like how do we beat it exactly? Or is it just more like run up, wave dashing? Exactly, there's a ton of interactions. Like if we were to actually look at all the interactions, it would not look like rock, paper, scissors. It would look like rock, paper, scissors, gun, sword, shield, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, but the thing is that like those options still fall under counterattacks, movement, spot dodge, and hold shield. And usually if you're trying to beat the movement, like if you want to beat roll, you're also probably beating wave dash back. And if you want to beat jumping, that's usually just done by like trying to cover, like say for example when I hit his shield and then he did a jump, like maybe I'd want to do like thing into this, like to beat the space above him. Say he does a spot dodge, I just want to like wait out the spot dodge. If he holds shield, I either want to continue to force him to hold shield and then poke, or I could just run up and grab, right? Grab beats shield. This is like what I'm saying is they always fall under these 4. So the frame data can be useful to see like if I F tilt shield, like, you know, then I can maybe punish the thing afterwards, but not if they do a different option, like whatever. Like grab is not the only one, but like you can apply this to any character, and the like obviously it's just simple if I go, hey dude, like all you need to know is that like blank beats blank and blank beats blank, but I don't know that for every character. Yeah, and like look at how much spacing plays a role. Like if we just want to beat grab as Falcon, we could like do a cross up to like where we go behind his shield and then like dash back. Let's try that. That takes too long to do that, so maybe we'll go back there and then run. See, like you can try it. Like what I would do as a very basic player is maybe like try to think about what can they do after I grab them, and then like, you know, like test in a 20xx or an Uncle Punch, like okay, they're gonna grab immediately after the shield, and I try to punish that and see like what I can and can't do. And then sometimes you think you can't do it, but actually you're just acting too slowly, and that's where again the frame data can be helpful. See, run up, wave dash back, bait the grab, punish. Maybe it's, you know, nair spaced, like a lot of space stuff is going to work like that. The thing is though, is like looking up how to beat options. Number one, I know that there just like isn't a resource that says like this beats this, this beats that, this beats this. So like what you would instead do is like the easiest way really is to just kind of go onto a game and see what people are doing, and then like if someone, for example, like attacks a shield and then punishes a grab out of shield, like watch, like what do they do? and like try stuff yourself. But like the most important thing to think about is just that like if something is beating grab, maybe it doesn't beat a delayed grab because that's a new sequence. Like, or maybe it doesn't beat, you know, or maybe it hard beats grab, but it loses to roll or loses to, or maybe it beats grab because grab is frame 7, but it loses to shine out of shield because shine out of shield is slower. Like, you know, say for example, we did a back air here and oh, he can't grab me because I'm on the opposite side of his shield. Well, shine attacks on both sides. So that's why at the end of the day, like the framework that I'm trying to share is just sort of like, it all comes back to these four options. Counterattacks out of shield, which includes grab. Movement, which is rolls, spot dodges, and jumps. And then spot dodge is its own category, because I think it is its own category. And then just continuing to hold shield, which often resets the interaction, but comes at the cost of your shield getting smaller and smaller and smaller. You know, until eventually you can just shield poke them or grab them or break it. You know? Sorry, I don't want this shit. Like, you know, holding shield, eventually time runs out, and you just, like, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't know. Can't believe that didn't poke. You get what I mean. Like, eventually this just becomes worse and worse over time. And if you know that, like, say, for example, you're in this situation, and you know, like, either I just straight up hit them, or they have to do a roll or something. And they can't do a roll away. Like, if they're in the corner, they can't do a roll away because it just looks like this, and that's just too punishable. So you can just be like, either you roll or your shield breaks, man. So I'm just gonna punish the roll. But that's what you want to be thinking. Like, this guy's in the corner. Right now, you either have to roll, or you're fucked, right? Because you spot dodge. You have to commit in some way because your shield is so low. So you could literally just do like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, because his spot thing is 4, I think. Yeah. And then you just do like a knee, and maybe you like fastball it. Now he held shield. You see what I mean by like thinking about your opponent's options, thinking about your options, and then just fucking them up as a result. I'm just gonna quickly use the washroom though. 1 sec. Okay. Oh. I'm talking a lot. I'm gonna like eat a throat lozenge. Throat lozenge. Excuse me. So. Yeah, exactly. Why it beats the options is way more important. Because like, but the thing is like, it also is just fundamentally useful to know that rock beats scissors, scissors beats paper, and that maybe in this case, holding shield is like gonna beat certain things. Like, you know, a really simple example that people bring up all the time, but it is still very useful, is just if I run up and grab him, it will, hey Daladex, how's it going? I will always beat shield if I just run up and grab. Unless, of course, as I'm running up, they start their grab and it comes out before mine. But if they are just holding shield, this will always beat it. So, like, you know, like sometimes just if they're holding shield, you just run up and grab it, and that's shield pressure or whatever. But, you know, if, for example, I run up and grab, and as I'm about to grab, he up smashes, then I get hit before the grab comes out. It's all about knowing what the options they have, and then knowing what options you have, and recognizing if I run up wave dash, like, so say for example, whenever I run up grab, he does the up smash. Well, I adapt to that by going run up, wave dash back, and then punishing the up smash that he does out of shield. Does that make sense? Because it's all like mix-ups and shit. And you can see, like, what matters too is, like, different grab ranges vary between character to character. It'll show up as purple. See? This grab range isn't that big. Yeah, like, that's a fair point. I just think it's, like, it's all... The thing is, like, this... To me, I don't like the term, like, shield pressure, because, like, this into grab is definitely shield pressure. Like, dash dancing in front of someone's shield, making them feel like they have to do something. Like, this would be a shield pressure sequence. For example, say they're, like... They're in the corner, and they're shielding, and I go, like that. That's covering the roll. Or, like, dash dance. Sorry, dash dance. And I do a down air. This is also covering the roll. And if I down air and they stay in shield, well, who cares? They're still in shield. Like, but if I down air and they try to attack me, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But the thing is like, empty pressure is still pressure. Like, even doing this, if they're just sitting there in shield and it's depleting, then I can just be like, and either they roll, like, you wouldn't want to do that immediately, but it's like, you can just wait and wait and wait, and then eventually the shield breaks. Either they do something or they don't, and then it becomes purely about timing. Like, let's say, for example, like, this fox is sitting here, and he's like, I'm holding, and I go, okay, I think he's going to run up and attack me. I'm going to do this. Like, and he still holds the shield. It's like, well, now, buddy, I have... Falcon is in a bunch of end lag after this. See? End lag, end lag, end lag. And now Fox can just wave dash forward and grab it or something like that. And now he's back into the thing. But, like... And there's all kinds of stuff, right? I said before how, like, stage positioning affects stuff. If I do, like, a knee on stage, he just grabs ledge. That affects stuff. If he's in the corner, his options are way more limited. So, like, rolling in is easily covered and rolling away is easily covered. Sometimes you can react to all of their options. That's not always possible. And it's also dependent on, like, how good your reactions are. But you just need to sort of understand that. So I think now it's time, like, I've been talking about this for a long time, maybe too long, to just completely try to go over the whole idea and see where people who either have been in here for a while or maybe just got here or whatever get confused by. Also, look, I have a little custom emote. Isn't that fun? Anyway, so let's go back to our original example, right? So we got a Fox player, got a Falco. So the things you need to understand about shield pressure, I'm going to start from top to bottom. First thing you want to understand, there's 3 things you want to understand to start. First, when you're in shield, you have limited options. For example, we'll talk about shine grab at the end. So for example, when you shield, you can no longer dash, you can no longer F smash, you can no longer down smash, you can no longer do tilts. All that stuff is off the table. On top of that, when you're in some of the options that you do have normally get slowed down. For example, if I were to shine here, shine's on the immediate frame afterwards, right? You can see the shine's there. If I'm in shield, so I'm in shield right now, I have to jump to get out of shield. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then shine. It takes 6 frames instead of 1. That's the disadvantage of being in shield. Certain options no longer become available, like forward smashing or dashing or whatever, and you some of the options you do have become slower. But you get the privilege of being able to block. Now the second thing you need to consider is that over time, shields get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until the advantage that you have disappears entirely. And this gets even worse when you get attacked. Like, your shield takes damage, right? So like, oh shit, it got even smaller. So now, you know, as it gets pushed away, like now he really has to do something or he's fucked. Because, you know, eventually the shield breaks. That's the second thing you need to know. The final thing you need to know is that when you're in shield, stage positioning is incredibly relevant. For example, if I'm in the center and I'm shielding and I roll away, it's not a bad option. If I roll away here, it's a little worse. If I roll away here though, look, I'm invulnerable, and then I just kind of like stay here. I didn't move as far because I was already in the corner. You know, like this is trash. I'm not even moving, so they can just like
sit there and punish me. So depending on where you are in the stage, it becomes weaker. Another useful thing to think about is like when someone's close to the edge, if I attack them, it might push them off to the ledge. So that's where stage positioning comes out. The final one is if you're on a platform, you can shield drop, and that can speed up the opponent's out of shield options, so it's useful to consider. So stage positioning affects stuff. Being in shield limits your options, and being in shield basically puts a timer on the opponent to act like fairly soon. So we know all that. So now that we know like the downsides of shielding, what can an opponent do out of shield? Well, they have 4 options, as you can see on screen. Counterattacks, movement, spot dodges, shield, hold shield. Counterattacks are really simple. It's anything that seeks to attack the opponent after or during a shield pressure interaction. So for example, if I do a back air to shield, looks like this, that's a counterattack. If I do a grab, you know, looks like that, that's a attack at a shield. There's a ton of different examples of attacks at shield. You know, they all function the same way, and even ones that use like wave dash up smash or something, they're all still attacks. The next category is movement, which is usually stuff like rolls, or wave dash, which is just a jump plus the wave dash. So it's, you know, in Falco's case, 5 frames of jump squat, and then let me just show you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then this wave dash, which would be with LRR. You can see landing fall special, that's the amount of lag you're in. Like, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 should be actionable. Okay, I miscounted. This is frame time. Now unactionable. So movement options are the next one. The last movement option is jumping in a shield. So obviously when you do an aerial at a shield, you jump as well. But sometimes people will just do this. Like they'll run to a platform. They'll be like, get me out of here. So those are all the movement options. Then you have spot dodging. It's its own category just because it keeps you in place. So it's like you're temporarily safe, but then you're right back into where you started. And the final one is just to hold shield. So someone attacks you, and like if you had held shield there, you would have taken the nair and the shine, rather than getting hit by the shine because you tried to do a grab. Because we know these 4 options, we can look at the options that we have and try to play around them. But the most important thing to think about is that there is no option that beats all of these options. Or if it beats them, it needs to be done so frame perfectly that like it's not even really possible. Like the best example is if we set our opponent to do a roll out shield. This is like, and keep in mind, only like people will tell you that spaceys are the only ones that have true shield pressure because they can do this shit. So I'm setting them to roll away. Let's get them over here. That's when I'm on the floor. Wow. Cool. Okay. So we have them on the thing. So if, for example, we did late air shine, we would miss, right? Depending on how late the shine was. Like, I think if we do it at the absolute latest, no, it doesn't work, period. So let's do this just because you can see he's in shield, whereas when you do the stage state, sometimes it doesn't show it. So spaceys have like really, really fast shield pressure to the point where like if I do shine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, whoops, I miscounted. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fine. It beats the roll, right? That was the frame perfect one. But if I'm at all slow, I don't beat it. And also, not just slow. Notice, like, for example, if I start the shine here and I do it frame perfectly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't hit him anyway. So it has to be really, really close because the shine range is so small. So you can see he's yellow, which means he's vulnerable, but he doesn't get hit anyway. If I do it late, I'll do it a frame late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Shine. He's invincible. Didn't hit him. So this is the only type of shield pressure, like sitting there multi-shining. It's the only one that technically they can't beat, but the moment they are even a single frame late, if you just are holding C-stick, you'll buffer out of the shield pressure. So 20 years later, people still can't do this perfectly, but the nice thing about it is it only loses to roll. So if you were sitting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, I missed time to jump. See, and now I get fucked for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, say I do it a frame late. What was I saying about this? Like, it still is beating certain things. And also, sometimes rolls can be okay because they're rolling into the corner or whatever. Like, an option that that only has one counter option can still be good because it only has one counter option, so you can kind of prepare for whatever they're going to do afterwards. But it's hard to execute. You want to be considering things like ease of execution. But this is not me saying just multi-shine, because even if you do that, they're always going to be... They could just roll every time, and then you never get anything off of it. Some people in chat asked me before about shine grab. Shine grab, sometimes people like to call it like a poor man's multi-shine, because... Well, let's watch this, right? Shine, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, I did it one frame too early. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the frame perfect thing. But what if we did a grab? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, shine, jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How do I do a grab if Z is the frame advance? Basically, what I was going to try to say is that grab is basically the same as a multi-shine. So it should beat roll if you do it properly, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, no, wait. It doesn't beat roll. It loses to roll in the same way multi-shine does, and it beats everything else. So if you do it, so like the reason why shine grab is pretty relevant is like, you know, I do something like that, but they get out with a roll anyway. So I talked about this before. The way you could beat this might be something like nair into nair, or like, take this one as an example, to JS. But what's JS? Dude, like that's another jump squat. No, you lose 5 frames to jump squat, don't you? Or you, oh, 1 frame because you cancel it, right? Jump canceled. So what, you go like, the problem is the frame advance is that you use Z to grab. So like, you're going, so I assume it's like 1, and then, yeah, got it. Either way, I know for a fact that like this loses to roll, as does this if it's not done frame perfectly. So in the case of like Falco's options, generally like the stuff that like, because I play Falco, I could actually tell you like a lot of the options that he has against certain situations. Like late nair shine is going to be grab and a lot of attacks or shield. Then it loses to people waiting until after the shine. But then if I do an immediate attack, I beat that thing after the grab. But then they can grab that attack because it was high on shield. So then if they do a roll or a thing, I can commit like this and punish it. But then that means that if they try to grab me, I lose. So like, that's why you can do shit like this. And like, even that, like this, we all know because we've seen like in 20XX and stuff that like, if I shine the shield, they'll grab. But if they're trying to go for a roll, like then that can work, right? This is why like shield pressure, the game would suck if it was just like, all you do is this, like, and then that beats everything. Because like, that's just not fun. Like, you know what I mean? Or like, so the way to like optimize shield pressure though, would be to look at options. Like, let's just use an example. If, for example, like we know shine grab loses to roll and multi-shine loses to roll, in some sense, multi-shine is better because Falco's grabs kind of suck compared to him hitting a shine. But the problem with that is like usually you can't just like run up and shine, like you're slow. So doing this, like running shine, multi-shine, might be better than shine grab, but like more often like laser shine grab is better. Like this is where it gets complicated. So, but the thing is you could literally have complete knowledge of every option by pairing this with the video I made about labbing what options are possible. Should just check my phone by the way. Yeah, like you could figure out what every option is, and then you could start to narrow down like, okay, some of the best ways to beat grab include like hard commitments like late nair shine, or more safe commitments like late nair fade back. Does that make sense? And like you saw me there, like this beat the roll, but what if they waited until after that first shine was done and then did the roll? It would work. Does that make sense? Because like shine is its own sequence. We see? They can roll. Multi-shine is 2 shines back to back, which like is a different sequence. But like you can see, I can't even do it well. Like I got it there. Got it there. But it's hard. Like, and that's why like people who think that shield pressure from spacies is like mindless shit don't realize that like, yeah, late nair shine, roll forward, and then maybe this is another thing. This is something I talk in the video, but like, let's say for example, their best option is to roll, and then afterwards when they're actionable, they can do something else. But maybe the easiest option to do is to shield immediately. Well, then even if you like lose to the option, you could do something like this. And because they're shielding, like you went in and grabbed each shield. But for example, if they roll and then do like say for example, they go like, and then they run away, and then you try to do it, like, yeah, exactly, Daniel. Like, well, it's not even just like, it's just like, this frame perfect shit is just not, it's not realistic a lot of the time. And then like, as I explained in my video, like if your shine is stale, that can affect shit, because the amount of frames that like, okay, like look, this is something that's literally just in my video, but if you guys haven't watched it, which you should, you would know already. But like when I shine, see this like blurry stuff, that's shield stun. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the amount of shield stun he's in, I'm pretty sure. And then the rest is like the hit. It's like a combination of hit lag and shield stun. I think the advantage for shine is I can't remember what it is, but and then eventually they're actionable. You see? So why am I bringing this up again? I forget. I forget why I'm bringing this up. Oh my gosh. I can't remember what I was going to say. All I know is that if you're a new player, the easiest way to improve these out of shield sequences, or these shield pressure sequences, is just to think about what are the most likely things that my opponent is going to do, and how do I beat those things, and then to literally just cycle them the way you would rock, paper, scissors. So let's say, for example, let's write them down, right? Let's say, for example, I go into my little movement thing, my little list of shit, right? And I, instead of all this stuff, which we'll copy and paste, I write down, I'm trying to beat grab, roll, shine out of shield. Even that one's probably not that likely for newer players, but grab, roll. What are some other really common ones? I feel like that's probably okay. Shield grab, roll, shine out of shield. Like, honestly, like that is a lot. Then you can think like, okay, there's a couple ways I could beat grab. One is to do the high risk thing, which is like the late nair on shield, but then if they wait, they can grab it. Or that there's the lower risk thing, which is like late nair on shield, or like a fade back nair that like pulls back. So if they grab, you're already outside of the range. But then then you're like not you're not actually trying to like punish them for attacking. You're just trying to like bait out a response and then punish that. And then the roll, we already learned. Okay, that's the late nair. Like, let's try to apply it in an actual game. I'll try to play a talk. So we're looking for these options. Oops. Let me just turn this off full screen. I'll have it set to full screen because I'll use it in my videos. So we're looking for grab, roll, and shine out of shield. I'm kind of rusty, by the way, because I haven't really been playing. I've been mostly working on videos like this. Okay, so if someone wants to figure out what his grab is, what the frame, like his grab might be frame 7. Okay, see, so he's already gone for a couple shield grabs. So in that case, I think he tried to go for a grab. So he did a spot dodge. That's another option we've seen. It's gonna read the roll. No, he goes for a get up attack. So he's done grab repeatedly. He did spot dodge there. So now like we're thinking like, okay, he's gonna grab most times. So let's just do like late nair on shield next time we get in that situation. Okay, so he grabbed after the shine there. So something we want to keep in mind. That time I landed on the back of his shield. Oops. Oh, I jumped too early. No, it's not a bad option. And like this is the thing. Is rock a bad option on shield? No. But doing rock every single time is bad. So like that's what's bad, is that this guy like already he's kind of demonstrated that like I'm trying to get like multiple shield situations. He's kind of demonstrated that he just likes to attack immediately out of shield. There he rolled, right? So I jumped back because I wanted to read the roll. I go for the dare in place because I'm waiting for the roll. But does this make sense? Like, so I'm looking for like these options, and he doesn't even have a shine out of shield because he's Gandor. What's funny about this shit is like some characters like Link and Samus, their grab is like not fast. So he stayed in shield there. He actually could have grabbed. Now I realize like, oh, I'm facing his back. See, I fade back because I'm expecting the shield grab. Dash dance out of the grab range, and so he grabbed again. All I'm doing is punishing shield grab in a bunch of different ways, and they're all working. But he's just looking for that immediate grab. And one of the things you can think about is usually grab is really good for a lot of characters, but it's not good for every character, or maybe it's not as good. And see, now because he's like, this is when people talk about conditioning. Now because this guy has been used to punishing grab, he's kind of afraid to shield grab, right? See, now he's jumping. Okay, he goes for one there. But he's been not doing it. He's not been spamming it because he's like, oh shit, I keep getting punished for it. And now he's waiting a bit. I'm going to say GG's because I'm going to play a guy who has better out of shield options than Ganondorf. Ganondorf's best out of shield option is like his aerials. Like, let me just find him. Grab is 7 frames. His next fastest option is up air, which is 12 frames. And of course, up air is going to have like its own limitations because it hits above. I need to quickly tab back to this. Oops. Sorry, I got hit because I needed to tab back to chat. I wanted to check the spreadsheet. Okay, so this guy. Falcon also doesn't have great options out of shield. Because of like, you know, the game. Like, if you look at like what are his options out of shield? Oh my god. I'm already down a couple stocks. There's only so much stuff you can do. And so for that reason, a lot of people end up going for rolls because like his options just aren't as good, right? And the reason we know that is because we like looked at Captain Falcon's out of shield options, which there's a list on a spreadsheet, and we saw like, oh shit, you know, either they're slow or they don't give him much anyway. Ah, that was bad by me. Because I threw away one stock, and this guy is better than the other guy, I might lose this. Oh my god, Japan him. Okay. Oh wow, amazing DI. That's not what I meant to do. Okay. But so like Falcons generally go for rolls more often than other people, which means you want to mix in the hard counters for rolls. Wow, idiot. And like look for that. And the same applies to a lot of neutral situations too. Is like, okay, he's trying to beat my roll, or he's trying to beat something else that I'm doing. So if I go for grab, he goes for a roll. We notice the roll. Oh, I didn't actually mean to tech in there. I must have been tilting my stick a bit. That's fine. Because he's at higher percent, I want to be just knocking him off stage. Like, I need to be going for like lower committal options that... What? Okay. Now I'm in the corner, so he's waiting for me to do something. One of my only options there was the roll. He was ready for it, positioned. And he does a T-drop to grab ledge. That's kind of fun. So he's rolling a lot. One way I could deal with that. I got it. He's covering the immediate roll, so I need to do a slightly slower roll. Because timing is a lot of stuff in this game. It's just like, when did you time it? Can't believe he got a shield poke there. Okay, so he's in the corner. He rolls to dodge my grab. Guy's honestly pretty good. I'm also like finding it hard to talk and play. The person is decent. But like, I need to be not teching in. That was not intentional. Okay. Yeah, I need to not be up tilting. Oh, I thought if I crouched there, I wouldn't get hit, but I'm dead again. I'll play one more. Some people are just hard to beat if I also need to talk. Okay. Okay, he wave dashed a shield. I'm just looking for out of shield stuff. It's supposed to be an up tilt, but my controller sucks. Good CC on the thing. Jab. Oh, I thought I was gonna grab ledge. I'm gonna do a grab this time. He does a roll once more. Hard reads my roll away. I've been doing it too much. Should be able to get this. No. Good DI by him. Gonna grab ledge. Rolling up. Okay. Gonna wait in between his attacks. So. Okay, now I have center stage. Gonna do a roll. Sorry. Dare to cover the roll. I committed again. He kind of waits for me to give up center and then keep it himself. Miss the angle. I'm gonna open him up. I'm gonna do maybe like a hard read a roll out this time. Okay. Okay. Kind of worked out because even though he didn't go for it, it gave me center anyway, which is kind of like what I was saying before about like weighing the risk reward. Okay. Now I'm in the corner again. Whenever you see me do a forward air, it's because my pod, the control stick is basically degraded. To the point where, like, when I held neutral there, it kind of was like folding forward. This is part of the reason why I've been not playing. I hate the range on Stomp, man. Fucking annoying. Okay, he has no jump, but he's going to reset it with his Falcon Kick anyway. Okay, I'm going to totally focus because I just want to fucking beat this guy now. Like, I'm getting a little salty that I can't. Okay, he plays around my double laser. Some people are good on unranked, you know, like especially if I'm like I'm not PPMD, you know. I'm not meaning to do these stupid scrubby rolls. Okay. He's just trying to punish the thing. So I'm like waiting it out. How does he get off the ledge? Oh, worth it. This guy's just better than me. I think that's all it is. This is not a matchup I'm great at. I should be able to get away. Like, part of the problem is I'm not punishing him nearly as hard as he's punishing me. Why did that trade? I'm not rolling, dude. Like, I'm literally neutral on the stick. Yeah, this just sucks. Yeah, and I even teched in place, but this guy's better. I'll play someone else that isn't like kicking my ass. But Samus is a good example of this too. Samus has like certain out of shield options that the biggest one being what's it called? Her up B. But up B is kind of like an escape option. Like it still hits you, but she often like uses either up B. She can't really use grab unless it's a hard commitment because what's the word? Her grab is like frame 18 or some shit. So she doesn't have the shield grab option that most people have. Look at these dash attacks. It's so funny. Now she's in the corner. I'll try to punish her in the corner. Punish sequence on her end. That was a bad laser because it was misspaced. I couldn't afford to do what I was doing. I dash in front of her, try to call up the roll. She doesn't do it, but she's still in shield. She should kill. Generally, my thoughts with Samus are that she sucks as a character, and if you just don't give her shit for free, she sucks. But the thing is like we saw already, like so much of Smash is just like timing options and winning a rock paper scissors. So maybe like even if Samus doesn't have like a natural easy way to deal with something, because she still like knows what the opponent is going to do or like call something out, she might be able to deal with it anyway. And it's not like she has no options. And certainly her punish game isn't bad. It's just like, you see what I mean? That other guy I played was pretty good though, eh? Like this whole time I've basically been trying to play around her up B at a shield. Oh, yeah, so usually if I taunt on unranked, it's because the situation was kind of like silly. Like I think one time I remember, also worth mentioning, it doesn't have to necessarily be me. I'm not the only one with radar as a tag. But the other thing is sometimes people will get salty at me when I think like a situation was like more like silly, if that makes sense. So for example, like if I like taunt and then accidentally die like because of Randall or something, like I'd probably be like I might, if my opponent for example does like multi-shine and then like air dodges off the stage and dies, I'll probably taunt being like, well, that was kind of silly. And I'm not thinking of it as like, you fucking loser or something. I'm thinking of it just as like, haha, that was kind of funny. But then some people take it as like, oh, like you're just trying to make fun of me. Okay, Mario's another character that has terrible out of shield options. So, or not just terrible, like just certain characters can't get as much off of it. Even if they have like the frame data to do it, it's like, does the move that they actually use connect into anything? Or like, ooh, this is bad. I think that's just what people assume, dude. Like, I've had the same thing where, like, when people leave the game or taunt me or something, I think to myself, oh my gosh, they're doing it because they think X or Y. In reality, like, I might have not even meant to taunt, you know, I might have just hit the button by accident, and then meanwhile this person thinks I'm like a fucking asshole. And it's funny, but like, just like how the game is. I think some taunts are like not clear. Like if I were to just taunt right now after I kill that guy, that's like a pretty like shitty taunt, you know? But yeah. I mean, they are BM though sometimes. I just think that like I've definitely taunted. Why are we getting like all these fucking random ass characters? Is this the same guy? Remember, one of the few options we have to respect with Falcon is his grab. Sorry, not with Falcon, with Ganon. But one of the things we can do is just play outside the threat ranges of all his other out-of-shield options. By the way, this is also a good example of why, like, I thought that would kill. I was down for the trade just because I thought it would kill. This is why, like, when people talk about low tiers being bad, it's because, like, the low tier either doesn't have a way to deal with an option, or the way they have to deal with it isn't great. So, like, maybe my way to deal with roll is to, like, nair into a running, like, run-up nair as well. And maybe their way to deal with roll, the fastest way, isn't something that opens up a big combo or whatever. Or maybe, like, in his case, for example, his fastest out-of-shield option is frame 7. My fastest out-of-shield option is frame 6. Fox's fastest is frame 4. You know, like, so Fox is a potentially better out-of-shield game. Like, it's that kind of stuff. But the problem is when people let the low tier get the stuff for free, I guess, then it all becomes like pointless anyway. Because like even if you have a disadvantage, if you're not like for example, to continue using the rock paper scissors analogy, a low tier might literally not have scissors is a way to think of it. Like they just don't have scissors as an available option to them. And so for example, because they don't have scissors, that makes paper really good, right? But for whatever reason, you just keep going for rock anyway, even knowing that, because you don't either know that they don't have scissors or like something else, and then you're not leveraging that natural advantage that you have. But like that oversimplifies things. Like every low tier still has like, they still have wave dash back, F smash or whatever. They still have like run up grab, but they still have tomahawk stuff. Like they still have all these things, oops, that are fundamental parts of the game. So it's not like you can just do whatever the fuck you want against a low tier and win. It's just that, like, say for example, Kirby has a pretty bad grab, so you can shield more versus Kirby because you're like, well, I should have said GG. You're like, well, I don't really worry about getting grabbed because even if he gets the grab, he's not going to do that much compared to if Marth gets the grab, I literally die. Like, that's a way to think of it. And that also informs your shield pressure, is like, if the opponent's best option is like X, then try to play around their best option. Okay. Alright, we see a Fox. This is someone who has access to shun out of shield, although a lot of Foxes don't do it because it's really hard to do. Okay, so he runs up, wave dashes back. I shouldn't have done that. It's not that the best shield pressure is no pressure. Okay, so I have a positional advantage right now. I'm like still holding center. And I just barely miss space. That's supposed to be in there. I expect the shield. Good shorten. Nice. I don't think that is the best option because like you can't always punish every option. So like that's an oversimplification as well. What the fuck was that? Okay. I'm gonna go to ledge, practice my ledge dashes. My ledge dashes suck. To be expected. He goes for an unsafe dash attack on shield. I go for my best option in that situation, which is a shine because it's the most likely to start a combo. I try to go for it there as well. Try to... Oh my god, I hit the counter. Or my, sorry. Hit my computer thing. Okay. So he's shielding on a platform. Can't do turnaround up tilt because I suck. Oops. And now I'm gonna die. Could still die. Yep. If you play sloppy like this, you'll just lose. Okay, I'm just gonna play outside of the ledge dash range because I'm respecting it. Eventually, I'm just gonna... He's not doing safe refresh, so eventually I'll just like... It's not what I wanted to do. He's been going to ledge a lot. Hardest way to cover ledge is just to grab ledge. There's other ways to do it too, as Falco. That's a good example of like every character can just hard grab ledge. So even if they like don't have great ledge options, if they know you're gonna go... Yeah, I'm dead. Okay. I think like the habit stuff, like I think sometimes people in Melee, they talk too much about like, oh, I'm punishing their habits, and not enough about just like, sometimes I remember to throw out paper. Sometimes, okay, I'm not gonna wait forever for this guy. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, people will talk about like pick up on their habits, but if every time you throw out scissors and shield pressure is kind of like rock paper scissors, well, who gives a fuck if you like, if you are picking up on habits? You should be just focusing on like mixing up your advantage, your options on shield at all. You know what I mean? Like, just because you're never covering this one option anyway. I wanted to go outside of that dash attack range and then I think for a lot of players, the thing is not just to like to just scout for their habits. I think it's just to play in a way like you still want to be like looking and reacting to what your opponent is doing. But I think a lot of the problem is like people can't take in that much information and they don't realize that like just being unpredictable purely by just doing different options is enough to like make a lot of players struggle. And it's being predictable rather than like being unpredictable rather, or depending how you want to word it. Being predictable is bad, so just simply focusing on being unpredictable is good as a starting level, and then the next level is to is to be unpredictable and do different kind of options. Because as we've shown today, like say for example there's a lot of different ways to beat grab. If all like you could effectively call them all different versions of rock, but if all you ever do is do ways to like different versions of beating grab, and you never do stuff that beats roll, well that's also bad. I might die here, despite like winning neutral over and over and over again. I'm just not killing him. Could actually work out though. I don't think it is playstyle dependent. It's just actually mixing up. I think Croy Fada or Croy Fadas or Kra Fada, like I don't know how to pronounce that. You're saying like you have to remember that I'm coming at this from the perspective of like what is the easiest thing to do for new players? How did that not hit him? Do you know what I mean? Like, so a new player, they're thinking about tech skill, they're thinking about all this shit. They might not be able to, like, take in all the information. You know? Like, so rather than, like, it's the same with, like, DI mix-ups. Like, rather than worrying about... Okay. Rather than worrying about, like, what DI they're doing, just, like, make sure that every once in a while you're doing stuff that isn't the same, that isn't punishing only one type of DI. And then eventually, when you're like able to keep track of your tech skill and all this other shit, then you can kind of deal with everything else. Does that make sense? I'm probably gonna stop soon, but yeah, mixing up is important no matter what. The only exception to that is like, again, if you see that opponent is always going for literally the same option, like that's the thing. I wouldn't say mixing up is important no matter what, because sometimes the opponent is literally only going for one option. Do you know what I mean? And then like if they are always going for shield grab and you're doing shield grab sometimes, like anti-shield grab stuff sometimes, and anti-roll stuff other times, and they are literally every single time doing the same option, well then you're just being silly for not countering it. Does that make sense? I don't know if I should have gone for Shrine there. What? I wouldn't agree that that's true in every situation. I think you need to understand what they could do and what you're doing, like, and how what you're doing beats what they're doing. But you don't need to always be like, oh, what the hell? I just didn't jump. You don't need to always be thinking like, what are they doing? What am I doing? Sometimes it's just good to like, it's just good to be like doing good stuff in the first place. Does that make sense? Like if an option isn't serving a purpose, that's like a problem. This is a hard thing to like articulate while also playing. Gotta respect the bombs. Anyway, like, you definitely want to understand what your opponent can do. But I think people get too wrapped up in the idea that, like, that like, oh, it's all about, like, conditioning and reading habits and shit. Oh, that's like Rishi's video, right? See how slow Samus grab is? It's such a commitment. It takes 18 frames to start. If I can get an up tilt, I should be able to kill her. So I'm looking for stuff that kills only. Big punish. It might die just for missing this. How do I get out of this situation? I shouldn't have up smashed there. Yeah, see? I just couldn't get that one kill and now they killed me first. Not gonna kill yet. I needed to be on a platform. Okay, that'll do it. It is, but it's just like, the thing is that like the mix-ups make a difference, but it's like, I really can't talk and play, man. Okay. Now I'm on ledge. Okay, let me just win this game. How did that not hit? Okay, should die here. No, got lucky. How did that shield poke? The down angle. Wow. I don't really want to play a Samus, so GG's, yeah. I think I'm basically done. Like, the way to think about it is sort of like, a lot of new players only throw out rock every time, and a lot of other players, new players, only know how to deal with scissors every time, or whatever. And both of those players wouldn't benefit purely from being unpredictable, in the sense that, like, if they do rock every time, the opponent should do paper. Excuse me. Wow, that was gross. Should do paper every time. But then the moment they start mixing it up, which usually they do, then you want to be being unpredictable, and you want to be trying to pick up on moments where they're predictable. But you also just want to be doing, like, unpredictable shit yourself. And so the reason why, like, when we've looked at the shield pressure stuff, we've looked at how, like, you know, doing late nair shine beats shield grab, but if they know it's coming, they can wait until after the nair is over, blah, blah, blah. Like, all of that is the kind of shit that, like, what's the word? That, like, the reason they have to respect your options in the first place is because they have to guess in the first place. Does that make sense? Like, because they can't know, then I thought I would get both the spot dodge. I think there was a way to time that to get both the spot dodge and the grab. Good slide off. Need to respect both that. You do. You do, but like the thing is like what you have to understand is that rock paper scissors, like the reason why it doesn't totally work here is that the actual reality is usually some version of like 10, like a wheel of 10 different options or something. And so like, yeah, being predictable is bad, but like when Mango, like the difference between Mango doing a double shine versus doing a late nair versus doing like a late nair into an immediate second nair to cover roll, like they all have their pros and cons, and like it's not as simple as like do paper, do rock, because like because there just are so many options in the first place and so many ways to deal with those options. It's terrible DI. Good needle though. Terrible DI by me. That's why, like, whenever people talk about, like, optimal shit, they're just talking about, like, what is the... Like, sometimes... Like, let's say, for example, there's 2 rocks. And let's just say there's 4 options. There's rock, paper, scissors, and there's also gun or something. If you have an option that beats rock, that's good. But what about you have an option that beats rock and it beats gun? Well, that's better than the rock option. Unless, of course, the rock option is safer and, like, won't get you punished as much. Like, this is how you want to be kind of weighing it. Like... Oh, okay. If I do X, like, yeah, it can beat Y, but, like, it's at a higher risk. And then you want to kind of weigh them. But sometimes there are situations, and this is where this optimal idea comes in, where, like, there's something that beats multiple options or whatever, and is a high punish, like, and is less risky. Like, it's just a better option in every way. And in those situations, like, that's why they called Shine Grab the poor man's multi-shine. Like, because multi-shining is harder, but you get more off of a shine. But the thing is I think that still, like, is an oversimplification. I'm getting fucking bodied here. Like... Ooh, that was good. Galint. That's the kind of problem. The other thing too is, like, as you can see from me, like, knowledge is only as good as your tech skill and your execution. And so, like, if I'm spending all my time, like, just trying not to, you know, space improperly. Yeah, that's the thing. It all comes back to, like, weighing risk reward and a bunch of other shit. And that's what makes it cool, is I think, like, is that, like, people act as if, like, oh, if I just multi-shined every time, like this is why, like, the whole, like, well, if Fox just, like, plays perfectly, you can't beat him. And it's like, well, isn't that true for any character? Like what the fuck? Well, like, yeah, you know, he's Fox 20xx, man. Like, what? Like, if Melee were actually like that, like, it would suck. Now, you might say, like, okay, but Melee actually could be like that if you had superhuman reactions. And, like, that's probably true. That, like, if you had superhuman reactions, like, every time Peak gets a down throw tech chase, she would just kill you, right? Because she has the frame potential to beat it. It's just, was not supposed to be a forward air. How does she get down? It's annoying. If it wasn't a fucking forward air. That's why, like, I really hate GameCube controllers. I'm gonna do laser F tilt because I know Sheik is like Sheik's pretty vulnerable. So as long as I do like a low lag commitment, like a low commitment option, like I don't need to take a big risk and do a forward smash because she was already at like 100 something. How am I gonna come down? Bounce back. Play outside her threat range. He comes down on the platform. So there were moments in that pressure sequence where she could have grabbed, but if she guessed wrong, then maybe I get the punish. And that's what it comes down to, like just trying to guess. Another thing too that some people don't understand is like sometimes people do like fake shield pressure that like looks like say for example if I attack shield Sheik's shield here and I do like shine wave shine down. I have to get out of the combo to do it. Basically shine wave dash in place and then shine. That's not a multi shine. That's way slower, but it kind of looks like one, and so people get kind of tripped up by it, and they respect it when they shouldn't. Just because they know like if I guess wrong in other situations I just lose. And they don't understand what they're seeing is actually yeah. Oh, dude, what the fuck? They're supposed to be down here. I read the roll perfectly and then still messed up the situation. Okay, regrab ledge, roll up. Somehow I'm not able to hit the easiest punish possible. What the thing is like if you're again, you keep saying scout until you know what they do, as if like you can play someone and literally know what they're gonna do every time. And it's like no, like good players are like unpredictable. You might have a better idea, but like a player shouldn't just be sitting there just doing the same thing over and over again. You know, like realistically, to make this tech chase situation hard, I'm gonna like mix up my options to make this situation hard. Oh my god. Honestly, I'm throwing because I'm fucking talking about stuff. I need to take a break. It's been over almost 3 hours. No, but dude, you're like objectively wrong, right? Like you cannot if we have 10 or 11 or 12 options. Okay, unless I'm misinterpreting what I'm saying. What you're saying. Oops. I don't want that. Like the thing you need to understand is just like, and I could be misunderstanding what Croy is saying, but like, what's up, Hugo Blickman? Is that just like, is that like, if there's 10 options and they all beat different things and someone is genuinely unpredictable with 10 options and each of those options lose and beat a different situation, then even if you think like, okay, I noticed they favor option like 3 and 5 more often, well, like as long as they're still kind of mixing in other ones, you can't like know for sure. You just have to take a risk. And then it's about weighing the risk and reward. And then that stuff like percent and shit, right? Where like if they're at 160, then capitalize big time on that read. But this is again, there's so much more to it, right? Like if you say, oh, well, you have a big read, like, well, sometimes you don't need to take big reads, right? Like sometimes they're in the corner and they're at 160 and all they can do is X, Y, and Z. And even if you miss the one thing, you could still favor center stage, which still puts them in the corner. Like you can't just always know. The only times you can like always know are against bad players. But the better they get, like the easier it is to, or the harder it is. And that's why like in this other clip of like stuff, like in these Mango shield pressure situations, Mango, the best Falco like in the world, like he goes for fade back neutral air there and then does the F smash. Like here's an example. So let's watch. Run up, jab, fade back neutral air, immediate F smash. If you just hold shield there, you grab the F smash. And then it's like he wins. And it's so it's not that Mango is, so you could say, well, you never were able to predict it. Well, like you could just guess. You could just guess and say, I think he's going to do an F smash afterwards. Yeah, and I know you're not saying that. So shine, he's probably what he's gonna do. Probably wave dash away to cover the roll, or he's gonna go for another immediate attack. But the thing is he's facing the back of his shield. Yeah, that's a different type of reading, which I also want to talk about. Looks for a shield stab. So he wave dash back. So I wouldn't actually say he's looking for a shield stab. There. I think he was trying to get in a position where if he did act out a shield, he'd still be better. But goes for another shine. Down air, he's probably going to fade away a bit. He immediately does wave dash out thing. Runs in front of the shield, dash dances to try to bait out another nair, gets it. But the thing is, like, you're saying panic mode, but even then there are various panic options, and sometimes those panic options all are scissors, and sometimes there's the rock paper scissors panic options. Dude, but like I still feel like you guys are missing like a really key factor, and I guess I'm just not explaining it well. Like, I don't know. Like, the thing, I guess what I'm trying to say is just like you can never know for sure, and there are options that are like let's use an example. Like, it's ignoring all the like risk and reward and factors. Like, you know, if we were talking DI mix-ups, for example, and I do a DI mix up here, and like, let's just say, let's just do a really simple one, right? Do this. If I shine and like, let's say forward smash, okay. Or is this the right percent for? Let's do 40. This is gonna hit it? No. What about up tilt? Okay, let's do 50% up tilt forward smash. Sorry, excuse me. Good DI on it. I literally am hitting forward. That's so annoying. This is what I'm talking about with the controller shape. So in this situation, like, I go for a forward smash, they DI in. If they DI out, they go further. Like, he's been DIing in basically every time. That's the DI out, right? But the thing is like, it's not bad to go for the forward smash, even if they do DI out, because like, yeah, they drop the combo, but I still get some stage positioning and stuff. So it's like, this is just a good option, because sometimes it's going to hit their DI out and set up an edge guard, and sometimes they're going to DI in, and even still, it's still okay. Do you know what I mean? And that's like, so it doesn't matter if I like notice that they've been DIing out a lot, or it does matter that I noticed they've been DIing out a lot, but really it doesn't, because even if they DI in, it's still pretty good anyway. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there is no real hard counter to this. Like, it's a true combo every time. In the same way that like when Fox, like when Marth is doing this shit, like this is not so much shield pressure, but like when Marth does this, this is optimal because like there's nothing that Fox can do. Do you know what I mean? Like, there is no counterplay to chain grabbing other than DIing. And if they hit the pivots and shit, like, you know, but there is something to be said for like, okay, well, at a certain point you can't do this shit, so then you go for forward smash and stuff. Well, I think it is both, right? Because like, it is both. It's just not as simple as like, oh, if you just fucking read their mind, you're in a good spot. Because again, like, if you know they're gonna DI out and you do this, like, and they DI out, well, you just got the stock easy, and you didn't end up having to do this shit. Sorry, like, you didn't have to go and do all this fancy like up air stuff. You just ended the combo early because you just went, goodbye, Fox, and they just happened to DI out. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, but like, both options have pros and cons. Yeah, but even then, there's like soft reads and hard reads. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and sometimes, like, if you have a read, like, you can take the risk, but you can also take the risk in like a lower thing. Like, say for example, if I do like an empty hop and then run back to cover the roll, that's going to be less of a commitment than if I go like, I'm going to cover the roll by going like say for example, they're in the corner and I like run up and then immediately dash back to cover the roll. That's not as much of a hard commitment as say like F smashing it. Just being like, you're going to roll now. And F smash may or may not be better, but like, you gotta weigh that kind of shit too. And there's always situations where sometimes, like there are plenty of situations in the game where there's just straight up like a best possible option, especially if you know what they're gonna do. But that's not always the case, and like that's why this shit gets like really complicated. I'm so bad at Marth. Like I don't play him much anymore. So yeah, and like, but that's the thing is like you don't always need reads. Like another example would be like, let's say I'm in a tech chase situation. I put Fox like here. And I forward throw him, and I know he can tech in place, he can tech away, he can miss the tech, and he can roll in. So if I forward throw him and I F smash, I will beat literally every option if I time it properly, except for tech in play. See what I'm saying? Or sorry, not tech in place, tech back. Okay, that was a weird kind of situation. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, the only one is like if he techs. Well, in this case, because of the positioning, I think I have to be a bit farther back. Like, it seems like I was beating everything. Let's do this. Like, if I time it properly, I can cover, like, a lot of things, except for that right there. And so the thing is like, this can be considered a good option, not because I can react to everything, and not because I have some read on the opponent, but because it covers 75% of the options. Does that make sense as well? Like, this is sort of the problem with the, like, well, just, like, you got to get the opponent's read, man. Like, you got to figure out that they're going to tech in place. And it's like, hey, look, I don't even care if they tech in place, because if they do, like, these other options, they get fucked over too. As long as you, again, it's timing and shit like that, right? Like, so in this case, like say if I do down throw and he techs in place, I'll do like this. And, you know, I don't know why I'm using Marth as my example, because I'm not a Marth main. Maybe this wouldn't even be... Like, this is how people figure out shit, though, right? Like, they go like, okay, well, I'll just go for the tech. I'll go for the F smash because it covers a bunch of things. The thing is, though, if we're talking true optimal shit, there's some stuff where you can just, like, cover everything. Where you can be like I fucking suck at this shit, so... Like, you'd be like, where are they teching, and then react to it, like... And of course it's valuable, like... Well, I don't think it's like always like mental fatigue, but like sometimes you literally can just react to everything, right? Like in a down throw tech chase, or like a lot of situations, Fox can just like literally react to everything. Like he'll be like, okay, like say for example, and then do whatever, right? Or like I'm slow because I'm not a Fox player, and I also just I don't think I have that great reactions. But like I know like Pipsqueak was talking about how like up throw forward air into like this is some like tech chase situation where that's how you like always extend the tech chase, because if they do this, they do that. Like that's like what the optimal shit comes into. Well, the thing is even I wouldn't say take the reaction tech chase every time, because there's also like, you know, you can't always trust your reactions. Sometimes you're like tired, you know, like if I'm sitting here being like, hey, in every situation you can just reaction tech chase stuff, but like there I went for a read because, you know, you might miss. So it's always like a way. That's why like you just want to be considering a lot of different factors. Like sometimes if you're a Sheik player and you know you can cover 3 options effectively just by doing up smash, well then you just do up smash. Or some people do, and some people won't. And that's why you'll hear commentators sometimes be like, oh, he went for the down throw instead of the back throw here because he just really values his reactions. You know? I like can't reaction tech chase. I suck. But I play Falco, a character that like isn't very reaction heavy. Falco's very often more of the like, you know, the shield pressure example we had before where like, oh, you do this and then you laser and that covers the like sometimes Falco will do shit like this where he goes like blank, laser, and then goes that way. And the laser on the left covers like a roll here, and this covers on the other side. And so he's kind of like covering everything. But like if all you do is get lasered here, well, it's like not the biggest deal. And that's like kind of part of what's optimal for Falco, you know? Anyway, I'm not a pro player. I have not thought of every single interaction. But I think I have a pretty good idea of like of what you need to be thinking. For sure, I think just people just don't understand that, like, they don't understand that whole, like, sometimes there's just an option that deals better with this situation than everything else. And in that situation, like, you don't have to have some mind, heart, body, whatever fucking thing. You just go in and do the option that's the best. Or you do the option that's the safest. Like, if you're at 0% and Marth's at 150 and he's trying to go for a down throw, maybe you just, like, do the safe option. Because you don't want to risk losing. You just want to, like, put some kind of pressure on it or whatever, right? Like, I don't know. Anyway. I know you're saying that's literally mined, but like, there are situations where it's just like where I don't know. I can't articulate this because I'm too tired now. It's been like 3 hours. Yeah, well, I think the problem new players have is they just are like, they just do the same thing over and over again. Or they do the same 3 things. Or they enter a situation where they're like, man, he keeps covering my side B. What do I do to beat that? I guess side B. And it's like, no. Or maybe they go, you know what? Instead, I'm going to try to do an up B in the same position that you can cover side B in. Like, say, for example, like, I keep doing this to ledge, and they down smash me, and then I go, it's like, but dude, he down smashes that too. So what you want to be doing is maybe something like this, and they down smash, and now you escape back to center. Like, and then of course, like you said, practice. Like, you want to actually be able to execute this. You know, when you go in and do like run in, double shine or whatever, or like lane air shine, wave dash, you want to actually be able to do that. When you do laser dash dance laser, like whatever. I need to stop though. I need to eat lunch. I need to take a break. I need to shower. All things that are important. So I feel like all this is making me think is that making a script that is like, it took me like an hour to explain everything. So like, how do I make it into 5 minutes? You know? But I don't know. Hopefully people learn something. But I'll see you guys another time. I'm going to go care for my physical body. And yeah. But you can also see why, like, just before I go, why, like, if you understand this stuff and you understand, like, what you need to be doing, you, like, it's easy because you just know, like, okay, he keeps doing X, but I know what beats X. So I'll just do that. And then, like, oh, okay, but when I do that, like, what am I weighing? What are the options? What are the good and bad? But if you don't know that and you don't know how to approach it, it's just so confusing. So if you guys are big fans, I'm going to be doing commentating the next tournament that Gallant Gaming is putting on. What is it called? The Gallant Gaming Summer or something. And that's on July 21st is when registration closes. When is it? 23rd to 25th. Okay. So not this weekend, but the weekend after, I'm going to be commentating that. And then after that, I don't know what I'm doing because we're going to start to be switching to offline stuff. And Walt and I are doing a mix-up episode on his channel, I think this Thursday. That's in 2 days. So if you guys like that as well, definitely check that out. Twitch.tv/turndownforwalt. And, you know, tell your friends.